too strong. Let's do it, man. Let's go.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the 2021 MotoOption SX Series live here on Star.
Whatever happens, it's on you. They still don't show the surprise. I stood on the word that it's all true.
Ladies and gentlemen, 250 East action about to kick off live here on Starter Systems. Let's drop the gate here in Houston. RaceFactorGaming.com whole shot award goes to your defending champion, Colby Eaglin, but Daniel Mills straight out of the last chance qualifier into the race. By Eaglin right now. Prin trying to respond as Eaglin down the inside. Prin cuts underneath. Almost contact. Prin rides a wheelie. Eaglin takes the win out front. And Prin looks like he's going to be all alone in second. Hubbard in third. Mills in fourth. Whelan gets to the corner first on the 25 and comes out as the leader. Bryce Whelan, RaceFactorGaming.com whole shot award. Got a change for the lead. Leclerc has gone to the front on Bryce Whelan. Gebhardt has caught Siebold and is absolutely. Oh! He lands! What? Oh, he barrel rolls onto the table and he actually is going to complete the foul. Oh, they get up on the first melee. We got to change for the lead. Leclerc is down again. Leclerc is down out front, and Leclerc. Unbelievable. I'll be the last one standing. Might be time to pop some bottles because Jack Haley's done it again. He wins the opener here tonight in Houston with a front flip to boot. Over the finish line jump. Tyler Lang looks like he will indeed settle in for second, and Leclerc had it all come apart at the end. He's going to get a podium. For over a decade, the best riders in the world have met right here. This is the pinnacle of MX Simulator. And he takes his teammate down! To win, it takes dedication, skill, grit, and desire. Leclerc underneath of him punts him up. This is the battleground. It all starts right here, right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MotoOption Supercross.
I'll never back down. I'll get up, when I'm bleeding, barely breathing. I'll never back down. I'll get up, when I'm feeling broken and beaten. I got a fire in my soul, the fear shaking hold. I'm taking control of my own life.
From Tampa, Florida, riding for Moto Playground, number 14, Tyler Lane.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute.
From Lake Havasu City, Arizona, riding for MV Films, number 20, Jeremy Cohenauer.
I be chillin' with the gang. Through this blood sucker.
From Portland, Oregon, riding for BPC, number 21, Chase Blakely.
Boy, you should keep it space. H block, this is not your place. Bro, this pump your ass like a balloon. Wanna play around, I bet you lose. Sit your ass down, don't move. Gelati, yeah, we running with the toes. Shot it like to sip up on the goose. White girl got me feeling like a loon. Looney Tune, we running with the loop. My gun is my just running.
From Orlando, Florida, riding for atom.com, number 17, Adam Holmes. From Los Angeles, California, riding for Moto Playground, 2019 250 East Champion, number 26, Isaiah Dickerson. From Costa Mesa, California, riding for SwapMotoLive.com, 2020 250 West Champion, number 19, Braden Carter.
Never gonna stop, never gonna stop. Going to the top, Kobe with the shot. Cooking like a pop, I said this shit. Popping like a kernel, I was never taught. CBA, never said. I've been on my grind for 7 days. Need a raise, swear to God I'll never be the same. TBH, TBH, yeah, CBA, never said. I've been on my grind for 7 days. Need a raise, swear to God I'll never be the same. TBH, TBH, yeah, she tell me just do it 'cause I'm
From Peachtree City, Georgia, riding for Panini Motorsports Underground RC, number 6, Colton Mitchell. From Picardy, France, riding for AJ Originals, 2018 Supercross champion, number 7, Alexis Leclerc. From El Paso, Texas, riding for Jack Daniels Racing, 2019 Supercross champion, number 2, Jack Haley.
No matter who you are, now our future is gone. Monsters recreated all around. We have to survive now, sunshine is gone. What's left of the world live under the ground. But through the golden sea, we see the dawn. We'll fight like the devil.
Tell her pull up to the villa. Why shouldn't really she realize I'm on a mic, it's a thriller. Walk on the cook on me, Kimba. I might kill our shit, yeah. I might rid our shit.
From Warner Robins, Georgia, riding for Panini Motorsports Underground RC, your defending Supercross champion, number 1, Jeremy Siebel.
Hopping on my roads, yeah, bad bitch on my phone. Running up, I keep it low. Getting money, brody, she never told. No sticking so mad, I'ma go. The whole fuck, I have fun. Get on my I cannot phone on basic call. I tell her shorty to rake it on. All I need is shit facing on. Hop in the coupe, I race it on. Bad little bitch in the car. Shorty's recording noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to round number 3 of the 2020 MotoOption Clothing Supercross Series here in MX Simulator. My name is Kellen Brower here from Star Your Systems, and we are bringing you guys the action tonight from the third round in Houston. That's right, we were pretty much back on schedule now with the real-life Supercross Series after they got their first two Houstons out of the way the last couple days. We already got our first two Houstons out of the way 2 weeks ago and 1 week ago, so we're ready to go racing here in Houston 3 and bring you guys some action here tonight. A lot of things to talk about. First off, what we want to hit on here at the beginning of the show before we get too deep into things. A lot of you guys here last week maybe saw Payson Johnson pulling over at the end of the 450 main event after he had led much of the race and was on the verge of winning his very first career 450 main event. Instead, Jack Haley took the win. Johnson pulling over in order to not gain too many points and point out of the 250 West division that he wants to race a little later in the season. It was determined by Race Factory Gaming President Jeremy Kohnauer that they were going to sit him out for the next 5 rounds then and make sure that he doesn't kind of guck up the 450 class with shenanigans like that anymore. So he'll be taking a seat until the 250 West Championship starts, and hopefully we don't have any more drama like that where we have these 250 class riders basically just kind of ruining the show like Payson did last week. So we're going to move on from that and start talking about some more of these championship scenarios that are developing, because they're going to get a lot more fun very quickly. Before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at our season schedule. As I mentioned, we are in Houston again for round number 3 today, January 20th. But next week, we're heading to Indianapolis for the first round of the triple headers over there in Indy. So we're moving out of NRG Stadium, moving over to Lucas Oil Stadium next week, and do 3 weeks in a row at Lucas Oil Stadium for the 3 Indianapolises before we head, obviously, off to Orlando and continue on for the series. And we'll start off with the 250 West Championship on February 24th as well. So we're getting to about a month away until those 250 West guys can go racing, and we're getting excited for that, obviously, as well. Here is the SX 101 for the evening. Basically your format, your race schedule, everything you need to know about racing here tonight. Just like in real life, the top 40 will advance from qualifying. They've just been qualifying now for roughly about an hour, and they just wrapped up. They just got the track, got an hour of qualifying in, and just wrapped up. So the top 40 will be advancing into the night show. Each class will run 2 heat races. The top 9 will advance through those. Everybody else goes to those last chance qualifiers, in which the top 4 riders will advance to make up our 22 rider main events. 250 East main event going 15 minutes on a lap, and the 450 main event going 20 minutes and a lap. Let's go ahead and take a look at some times, though, as I load this up here real quick, and we'll take a look at our qualifying times from earlier today that just wrapped up, actually. And it looks like Alexis Leclerc, the Frenchman, has qualified fastest over Braden Carter at a 50.3 to a 50.8. Jack Haley, your current points leader, sitting third. Mitchell Janis inside of the top 5. Want to look down a little bit further, you'll see our defending champion Jeremy Seabolt 17th today. So clearly, after missing the main event last week, not feeling the flow this week either. And we'll see if he can't turn things around. And it looks like we only had 40 riders run a lap in the 450 class, so everybody will make it in. In that 250 East division, it was Ben Seberg out of Great Britain on the number 54 machine, 52.304, just edging out defending champion Colby Eaglin on a 52.312 there, the rider out of Canada. Last week's first-time winner Jacob Hubbard comes in third over Ryan Mahan and Luke Sullivan. Looking down the order again, looks like we had a little more people run laps, so a couple guys missing out, but it looks like Rasmus Eriksson on the 243 out of Sweden is going to make the night show just by the skin of his teeth. Real quickly, let's take a look at the standings after last week's back-to-back victories out of Jack Haley. He moves to a 6-point lead over Tyler Lang with back-to-back second-place finishes. Braden Carter now sitting third, Leclerc fourth, and Fjellberg inside of the top 5. Whereas in the 250 East division, Eagland has a narrow lead over Hubbard, picking up his first win last week. Sullivan, Mills, and Garrett still within striking distance, as well as McIntosh, as these guys look to go racing here tonight in Houston. Let's go ahead and load back into the server and take a look at this racetrack as we're getting ready to go racing here pretty soon. Looks like they are already got the heat races getting lined up, so we'll take a look at this racetrack from overhead real quick. Interesting start this week. It looks like it might go to the left, but that's very confusing and a little bit misleading, because it's actually how the start or how the track comes back down the start straight eventually. It's actually a right-handed first corner. You'll be able to see, if you can see my cursor on the screen here, you'll see this sweeper right here in the first corner. Going to be a right-handed first corner, and it goes around this little section of the track to join up right here, and then you go down this rhythm lane. I think a lot of guys are going to go 2-3-2 in that first rhythm lane most of the race, but If you get that first section right, you might be able to even go 3-3-1 and get a big gap after you grab the whole shot. We'll see how it plays out. But as mentioned, we are loading up into the 250 heat number 1, 250 East heat number 1 here at Houston 3. We're going to see a lot of riders out there that we're familiar faces with. Can Colby Eaglin maybe turn things around after losing the lead late last week? Jacob Hubbard taking the win on the final lap of the race. Eaglin finishing second and still holding the points lead. But Hubbard now, with that one career victory, trying to make things interesting. Eaglin was on the verge of his 6th career win, but couldn't quite get it done. So 5 career wins for Eaglin to his tally, our defending 250 East champion. Dominic Tiberino's had a rough couple rounds. Daniel Mills looking to turn things around as well. Luke Sullivan also looking strong early on in the season, but just a little bit off the pace of the front runners, and some of these guys looking to make some big dents here tonight. Want to give a big shout out, of course, to MotoOption Clothing, the title sponsor of MotoOption Supercross, the 10th year running. Founded in 2005 out of pure love for motorsports and design, MotoOption has continued to reinvent what a clothing company is all about. They pride themselves on staying true and giving back to sports that support them. They support local tracks and organizations as well as maintain a large athlete sponsorship program. MotoOption gives back to the sports that fuel us. Run by racers for racers, they are motorsports, and they are also the title sponsor of this series for the 10th year running, the 12th year of Pro MX Simulator Supercross racing as we continue to just click off years in this game. Amazing that this game has been around now over 13 years and we're still having these competitive races. A lot of people say, this game's getting a little bit outdated, but we're still having a lot of fun. We're still having some good racing on the track, and the top echelon of riders in this game are certainly no slouches in many of the other games that we see out there today as well. So good to see this game still getting a little bit of hype every now and then, and it seems like the first couple rounds have definitely provided a lot of people being excited about this series. We had a lot of people at the Anaheim opener, in which Jason Wygant joined me in the booth, and then round 2 again, a lot of people hanging out at the broadcast. And interestingly enough, when the Payson Johnson thing did happen last week, I had a lot of people also reaching out to me afterwards and wondering what the penalty would be and what exactly the situation was there, which I cannot recall ever really happening in MX Simulator Pro Racing history. Not too often that you get that many people that are truly, genuinely interested and involved in what's going on in the series. So good to see all of you guys out here again here tonight. Hopefully everybody in chat's having a good time so far. And we're getting ready to go racing here. 250 East heat number 1. Getting ready to line up onto the gate. Going to see a lot of familiar faces from the first couple rounds. Nick Tomasunas, he won a heat race last week. Looks like we also have Nathan Prynn back in the mix. I wanted to highlight Jacob Hubbard, who's just to the left of the box. We're on the outside of the gate here. Turn 1 goes to the right, but we're ready to drop the gate here again. Houston 3, let's go racing. Ooh, looks like the 42 of Prin's going to get to the corner first. It's a relatively clean start until a rider goes down on the inside. Daniel Irvine sneaks down the inside on the atom.com, number 96, and he's going to grab that whole shot, take it away from Nathan Prynn, and already getting the 3-3-3 line in the second rhythm. No, I'm sorry, jumps off the track at the end, and that might open the door of opportunity. Nathan Prynn trying to get down the inside there. Irvine a little wayward. Prynn again trying inside line, goes double in, almost clips him, and Irvine around the outside holding it on for the time being. A lot of split options in those two left-handed 90-degree corners. You'll see guys who check up and do a little bit of different rhythm lines might have an advantage to get to the inside and show their counterparts a wheel, but it's still tough sledging to beat the outside lines, which are seeming to be the OP lines here tonight, as Irvine showing true there. We got a rider down after the whoops. That is Seth Shirley. On the 441 there, he went down. Oh, and Travis Hoffman also hitting the deck, so a couple riders making mistakes. And you see Jacob Hubbard getting into the side of Hoffman there. He looks like he is just on the outside of transfer. Yes, he is actually. He's right behind his teammate, Trevor Spencer, on the 49, who is in transfer. You see Hubbard casing that there. This track this week, very unique rhythm sections, really peaky landings on most of the jumps. I think that's trying to kill momentum. We've got riders going down. Jack Allen getting on the track sideways, has riders plowing into him, and it's a really bad spot to go down. Nobody seemingly having spotters these days. A lot of people plowing in there, so back out front, it's still Irvine and Prynn way out front, but we've got somebody using the incorrect name. I'm gonna guess this guy's name is Barry Brands, but he's holding down third. We got Colton Hansen in fourth. Jacob Hubbard now is slot up into fifth. Seth Shirley, Luke Sullivan. Bob Joe is back this week. Everybody loved Bob Joe, and looks like he is currently in P8 right now as Aaron Rockefeller holding down the final transfer spot on the 800 Moto Playground ride. So, a lot of action. Early runnings. Everybody trying to settle into a pace here. Looks like we got some battles brewing up the road a little bit as Colton Hansen goes down. Gonna get up just after Bob Joe goes by. So Luke Sullivan up the road from these guys a little bit. And Hubbard is now slotted all the way up into 4th. Good ride. Well, really a good recovery ride so far for Hubbard, last week's winner. Looking to contend for this 2021 East Division Championship. Oh man, getting a little sideways in the whoops, but a nice correction. And rider down in the background, that is Sullivan. Sullivan on the 18 Team Nami machine hits the deck. Rockefeller just went by. So I think Sullivan is now back in 9th as here comes Jack Gatland on the Start Your Systems Heckman Productions machine. Sullivan trying to hold him off. Hubbard now made the pass on Barry Brands up into 3rd. As we continue to watch this final transfer spot, Sullivan holding it down. Jack Gatland trying to close in. We also have Tanner Thorson. Oh, rider down. That was Colton Hansen. Colton Hansen on the VlastMX.com 821 goes down. That will promote Jack Gatland to the final transfer spot. We've got a little bit of a parade queuing up here. Sullivan just missed the triple before the triple. He's going to miss the Supercross triple as well. So Gatland hops by, he gets a little sideways and almost goes down. He's getting sideways in front of Sullivan as well, and that's slowing them down quite a bit. So Gatland stuffs him. Now Sullivan under attack. Here comes Tanner Thorson. And I believe this is outside of the transfer. Yes, this is P10 on the track. So Thorson trying to make it into that top 9, but he's going to go down as Gatland was down as well. And there goes Colton Hansen. And around the outside, Chris Post goes into the final transfer spot. Seth Shirley now closing up behind him. I like these guys going outside, doubling the wall into this section. Really nothing you can do after that, though, and it's trying to get to this far inside line to then double in and triple this section here. As you see, Post just got cleanly ahead of Seth Shirley. So Shirley goes for the 2-3-3-1 line, making that look good. Jumps to the outside and then tries to cut back underneath, but misses the on-off option by the looks of it. So Ken Shirley closes this gap down to Post. Make things interesting. Oh, he didn't go down. He laid it down in the sand. So there goes Trevor Spencer on through up into 10th. We also got Casey Cochran, Austin Bear, and Jack Gatland, and Ben Seberg back here. This is your fastest qualifier, ladies and gentlemen, on the AJ Originals number 14. I think this is the first time we've seen Seberg this year. Did not see him at the first 2 Houston rounds. He's going to make another spot up right there. Seth Shirley was down. But look at this freight train. All these guys outside looking in, trying to move forward. Meanwhile, up front, Daniel Irvine has lost the lead. That is now gone over to Nathan Print as Gatland gets into the back of his countryman. Sebergen goes down. So resetting things for just a minute. Colton Hansen is in the final transfer spot. Made a little mistake there. Trevor Spencer and Casey Cochran are battling for 10th right now. Oh, riders down. That is Chris Post and Colton Hansen both down. Got riders piling in there. Seberg landing on Colton Hansen. So that just promoted Trevor Spencer into 8th, I believe. Yes. And Casey Cochran now in the final transfer spot. So we're closing up here with time about to expire. In fact, time is just now expiring, so white flag will come out next time by for this 250 East Heat Race number 1. Casey Cochran trying to close up onto Trevor Spencer for 8th place. Need to finish inside of the top 9 to transfer to the main event. Inside, Chris Post puts Austin Bear on the ground. He goes up to 10th. And he's trying to hope for a mistake out of one of these 2 riders up the road of him. So far, so good for Spencer and Cochran. White flag waving for race leader Nathan Prynn. Actually, I apologize. We have a change to the lead. It looks like Hubbard has gone to the front. Barry Brands holds down 2nd. Irvine now 3rd. Bob Joe up to 4th. Bob Joe going to try to make the main straight out of the heat. Rockefeller now 5th. Sullivan back to 6th. Spencer is 7th. Cochran is 8th. And Nathan Prynn I apologize. I think timing and scoring is having a glitch right now. I think Prin might actually still be leading the race, but timing and scoring is just trying to catch up to him. White flag is showing is waving for him, but I believe he just won the race. Yes, it did. Okay, finally it clicks in. So Hubbard will get second. Barry Brands third. Irvine fourth. Bob Joe back in fifth. Sixth for Aaron Rockefeller. Seventh for Luke Sullivan. It's eighth for Trevor Spencer, and Cochran is still in ninth, but here comes Chris Post. Got to avoid that post on the inside. I like that inside on-off line, gaining a lot of time. Now goes outside, trying to cut back underneath. He is running out of time, and Casey Cochran has just got to get through the sand section clean. Ryder's going over the finish line jump, almost taking him down. Here comes Chris Post for the final transfer spot. He gets into him, and they're both down. Cochran is off the bike, and Chris Post goes to the main event. Oh my goodness. Casey Cochran going to be livid with that, as Seaberg also is missing out. Cochran, Shirley, Thomas Sunis, who won a heat race last week, not going through. And like I said, Seaberg, Hewen, Jack Gatlin, Tanner Thorson, Austin Bear, Travis Hoffman, Brian Brinker, and Colton Hansen all missing out. Let's take a look and see if cuts changed anything. Looks like Thomas Sunis lost a couple of spots. Actually, a lot of cuts coming in. Over 3 seconds of cuts out of Thomas Sunis there. But Chris Post does make it into the main event, as does Trevor Spencer, Daniel Irvine, Luke Sullivan, Aaron Rockefeller, Bob Joe, Barry Brands, Jacob Hubbard, and race winner Nathan Prin. Casey Cochran absolutely got to be beside himself right there. Yeah, some people in chat saying Casey is livid. Here is your race winner, though. Rider out of France on the AJ Originals, number 42, Nathan Prin. Didn't see much of him, but took over the race lead about halfway point from Daniel Irvine and eventually just cruised on to the race victory. So a nice ride out of the 42 of Nathan Prin. Give a shout out to another sponsor while we're in a quick intermission loading into 250 East Heat number 2. Let's give a shout out to OG El Paco on Twitch, a new sponsor to RaceFactorGaming.com this year. His name is Ty. He's been around for a while, and he streams in his free time and is proud sponsor of Race Factory Gaming. He says, feel free to stop by and hang out anytime. Check out OG El Paco on Twitch, proud sponsor of RaceFactorGaming.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, loading into 250 East, heat number 2. In this one, we should see our defending champion, Colby Eagland. Should see Daniel Mills, Dominic Tiberino, and a whole gaggle of other riders. Interesting to see that our fastest qualifier, Ben Seaberg, is definitely headed to that last chance qualifier, even if anything happens with that Chris Post pass in the final corner. Ben Seaberg finished too far back to even be gifted a position into the main event after that. But I highly doubt anything's going to come of that. That is the last corner, last lap, desperation pass for the final transfer spot type of stuff we love to see here on Race Factory Gaming Competition. And Chris Post was, for the most part, fairly straight up about it. He didn't go off the track at all. He just kind of ran into the back of Cochran, and they both kind of went down. But fortunately, Post stayed up for his sake and was able to get into the main event. So Casey Cochran not going to be too thrilled about it, but he's got to settle back down and try to regroup because those last chance qualifiers coming up quick. There is Daniel Mills. We also saw Colby Eagland. Here's Rogan McIntosh, AJ Green, Dalton Plessinger, Dominic Tiberino, Anthony Pachone, Rasmus Balzer, who, by the way, I was informed of, and I'm not sure if this information is 100% correct, but a lot of people telling me that Balzer is actually out of Denmark, for some reason listing his country as Sweden on RaceFactorGaming.com. So Balzer out of Denmark, I believe. Good to see all the foreign flavor. A lot of guys up till the wee hours of the morning to be able to compete in this series. Colby Eagland, 2 inside, or looks like 3 inside of the box, actually, as we're all revved up and ready to go here. It is 250 East, heat number 2 in Houston. Good start for the 89. He's going to control it into the first corner, but a lot of contact and runs wide. He actually got bumped from the inside. And for the first time really all year, we see a good start out of Dominic Tiberino on the 77. He's not going to hold the race lead, though, as he gets put to the ground by the rider out of Denmark, Rasmus Balzer, on the motorsport.com, number 250. He moves into the race lead. Joey Arico in second from AJ Green, Ryan Pinkerton, and JR Reyes, and then a host of other riders battling it out behind him. Look at all those guys stacked together, and a rider down. That looks like it may be Dalton Plessinger as everybody tries to get going over this Supercross triple, and JR Reyes losing a couple spots. They're having to come to a stop into the sand. That's the last place you want to lose momentum, is on entry to the sand. So lap 1 in the books, and Rasmus Balzer continues to lead the race. Look at this battle, though. AJ Green leading a freight train of riders coming down to the other end here. Let's see how many are doubling in here. Some are, some aren't. Joey Arico casing the wall double. Then going long in the corner, Daniel Mills putting one of the TMFR riders, Ryan Pinkerton, down. His teammate, Seth Garrett, trying to go up the inside. Daniel Mills trying to make a pass on Pachone. You'll notice this 250 division really struggling with these rhythm lanes tonight as Daniel Mills and Pachone get together. Mills off the right side of the track, going to jump back on right in front of Ryan Pinkerton there. And it seems like the way this track was built, definitely going to favor the 450 guys in terms of bigger lines this week. These 250 guys almost struggling to get most triples off in the rhythm lanes as Mills down the inside of Pinkerton still makes that pass happen. Pinkerton trying to fight back, but settles in behind. And this battle continues to rage. Joey Arico at the front. Oh, rider down. That's Pachone getting sideways in the whoops and hitting the deck. That's going to cost him a lot of positions, including our points leader and defending champion, Colby Eaglin, has just gone by. He has now found his way up into 10th and working on Dominic Tiberino, of all people, for the final transfer spot. See on board with him here for just a second. I don't actually want to stay on board with him for too long because second place is just up the road here, and it is absolutely frantic action. Rasmus Balzer, a huge lead, but look at this action. Daniel Mills getting stuffed by Joey Arico, who goes down, and Mills trying to hop over him and get on by. That's going to, well, Tiberino just went down. Eaglin just moved up into 8th, and Mills up the inside, passes him back. They're battling for 8th on the racetrack right now. Dualies over the triple. Eaglin swings to the outside to get the drive, but Mills closes off the inside and holds the spot for the time being. So through the whoops they go. Interesting set of whoops this week because it comes out of like a, oh, and Mills goes down. Oh, and Eaglin just able to not go down with him. He'll stay 8th, though, because Tiberino just went up into 7th, and Tiberino almost laid it down coming to that corner. What I was saying about the whoop section this week, though, as we try to go up to our leader, perhaps Balzer will show us what it looks like. The whoops this week, very interesting, coming out of a corner that's not like a true 90-degree corner. It's like maybe like a 75-degree turn. So there's really no use to swing wide and get a drive for him. So you have to apex that corner, and somehow just before the whoops get lined up straight up and down for the whoops, or else you're going to be a little bit sideways and then trying to corral the bike all the way through it. Balzer doing a very good job of keeping it up straight through the whoops there, and looking really smooth out front. Balzer was very quick in qualifying the opening week, but just really couldn't put everything together in the main event. And we'll see if this round things are a little bit better. Still Balzer from Seth Garrett. Dalton Plessinger has now moved up to 3rd. Here's Ryan Pinkerton. He's in 4th. JR Reyes is running in 5th. AJ Green just jumped off the track, but he got back on. He is in 6th. Tiberino runs 7th. Colby Eaglin back into P8, and Jonathan Alexander running 9th, but maybe not for long. Is trying to hold off Caleb Hall, and here comes Daniel Mills getting the 232 line. That's the preferred option for these 250 guys. Now, can he triple in? No, he elects to double. Goes for the triple there, but he's short, and there goes Caleb Hall back on by. Riders down. I think that is Colby Eaglin down off the outside of the track, and he's now out of transfer. He's going to get up in 12th. So he's still close, but this is going to be a little bit interesting now. A couple riders just went down. That's Mills and Pilsner. So Eaglin up into 10th, but D Mills also outside looking in right now. Eaglin has got to try to make it into this main event out of this heat race, because we saw how dramatic those LCQs were last week when we saw Jeremy Siebold, the defending 450 champion, miss the main event after losing in the heat race, going down right before the finish line jump, and then things just going even more south in the last chance qualifier. He'd eventually quit the evening. It looks like Eaglin has made a pass on a downed rider. He's going to go up into 8th as well around the inside of Jonathan Alexander, so Eaglin looking safe for right now. There's a battle brewing back here, though, outside of transfer. AJ Green, Joseph Pilsner. Green goes down. Pilsner just able to avoid him. And Ryan Mahan, who qualified inside the top 5 this week, the veteran, multi-time 450 class race winner and 2015 MX Simulator Cup champion, down the inside, makes the pass on Joseph Pilsner. Oh, and Eaglin was just down with Tiberino in the sand. So Eaglin is still 8th. Mahan moves up into 9th now. And Pilsner now outside looking in 10th, but he's got Pachone right behind him, and Mahan sideways corrals it together. What a save on the number 125 machine there. Pilsner licking his chops. Pachone also running strong, trying to get close here. This wall jump, very tricky. Guys don't want to run into each other. Pachone backing out of the challenge on the inside of Pilsner. White flag is waving, by the way, for our race leader, who has just gone by in the background. So Balzer 22nd lead right now, just cruising out front. Pilsner getting the preferred line. Pachone down in the background. So it's going to be up to Pilsner at this point to try to dethrone somebody. In this case, it would be Mahan. Eagland up here still working on Jonathan Alexander. Down the inside. That pass is complete. Nicely done, Eagland. Mahan still in the final transfer spot. Some guys battling up the road ahead of him. Oh, Balzer down with the lead. Just switched to him, but he's got a gigantic lead. Battle for second, J.R. Reyes, Seth Garrett, Ryan Pinkerton. This is a good little fight right here. Garrett goes down. Into the back of him comes Caleb Hall. Here comes Colby Eaglin. Eaglin stacks up with his teammate Hall. They're going to be bar to bar. Eaglin gets the triple-double option. Meanwhile, again, Balzer down with the lead. He's crashed twice on the last lap. He's still going to win by a ton. How about this one for the Dane, though? Rasmus Balzer wins 250 heat number 2 here at Houston and does a nice little underflip over the finish line jump. Reyes second, Garrett third, Pinkerton fourth. There is Eaglin up to 5th now. Hall is in 6th, Plessinger 7th, Mahan 8th, and Jonathan Alexander is in 9th. But here comes Joseph Pilsner. Are we going to see another last turn pass here? Riders going every which way. Pilsner's going to go for the absolute send into the last turn and plows into the back of him, but this time it doesn't work. Jonathan Alexander goes to the main event as Pilsner just misses out in 10th. Fernando Andrade, Anthony Pachone, Rogan McIntosh, Dominic Tiberino, that's a big one. Nate Tunnell, Joey Arico, Daniel Mills, AJ Green, Rasmus Eriksson, and Ethan Howell all missing out in this one. Can't believe Tiberino didn't make it through, and I'm also noticing a trend here after the finish line jump. Some of these guys going over and basically just letting go of the controller and flying into the next lane. That will result in a penalty if they're just laying in the track after they've finished the race and might impede somebody going the other way. So anybody that might be watching this race right now that is planning on racing later tonight, either in the 450 class or maybe you just came from that 250 heat race, please be mindful of where you land after the finish line jump. Don't go into that sand section or on the other side of the triple landing and get in the way, because there's guys still coming that would like to battle it out to the finish line. Here is your 250 East Heat number 2 race winner, Rasmus Balzer, on the motorsport.com number 250 machine. A great ride for the rider out of Denmark. And he will stamp his ticket to the main event along with the 9 others going through out of this heat race. All right, 450 class coming up. Time to get excited for the big boys. And want to give another big shout out to our sponsors here, part of RaceFactorGaming.com, and this one's going to go out to Racetech Suspension. I noticed our guy Chris Riesenberg in chat here tonight. Always good to see OG Checkers hanging out, and his company Racetech Suspension. Racetech is an industry leader in suspension components and service. Racetech has been a huge supporter of Race Factory Gaming from the beginning, providing a ton of prizing for Race Factory's competitors. Racetech is your place to go for all your suspension needs. Thank you, Racetech, for your continued support of MotoOption Supercross. 450 Heat number 1 coming up next. Going to see a lot of big names coming out now in this 450 division. We'll see who exactly is lining up, but a reminder of this 450 class and where things are. Your current championship leader, Jack Haley, by 6 points over Tyler Lang. Lang has no career wins, but 2 second-place finishes to start the year and has been so close to getting that first win clicked off. Jeremy Siebold, defending champion, just missed the main event last weekend at Houston 2. So he'll be looking to rebound here tonight. Alexis Leclerc, multi-time champion, also going to be out here. We should see Colton Mitchell. No Walter Gebhardt this week, by the way. Walter Gebhardt received a 1-week suspension for infraction last week. So we'll not see Walter Gebhardt out here tonight. Isaiah Dickerson, Braden Carter, Jeremy Cohenauer, Chase Blakely, just to name a few. So we'll see who is in 450 Heat number 1 as we load in right now. Rasmus Balzer, thank you for the update in chat. He lists his country as Sweden on Race Factory because Denmark doesn't exist on Race Factory. So there you go. Seabolt, I don't have his skins. Interesting. That team changes their pack like every other week, so that sucks that I don't have his skins. Even though last week I did, and he didn't have the red plate, but this week I don't. I don't know what's going on there. So Seabold out here, defending champion. Missed a couple other names in there. Jeff Cooper, Trent Adams, Dylan Copeland, Jeremy Seabold, Alexis Leclerc. Just a few of these in this heat race. Jack Haley also there on the 2. Leclerc going to be lined up outside of him. Cohenauer inside of him. Let's see who gets the whole shot. It's 450. Heat number 1 action at Houston. A lot of guys jumping the gate, but it is going to be a great jump and controlled first corner for Leclerc. Inside and through. Leclerc whole shot triples out of the inside as well. We're going to see these 450 guys going for the bigger lines. Caden Speck settles in right behind him. Dylan Copeland. We also have Jack Haley tripling over Copeland right now, trying to do the 3-3-3 option. And that is going to move him back up into the 3 spot. Rider down on the Yamaha back there. Didn't quite see who that was. That's going to be a tough spot to go down early on. So it's Leclerc from Speck and Haley as we're going to lead through on the lap number 2. Speck on this 75 EVP machine trying to hold off Jack Haley, who is undefeated so far this year, even though it's only been 2 rounds, but he has won back-to-back rounds. Leclerc, 3 in, 2 out. Unbelievable for the 7. I have not seen that line all night, although I don't know if it was faster. Oh, Haley into Speck, who just slid out, and a lot of riders piling in here trying to make some passes. So Haley loses a couple spots. Trent Adams and Copeland taking advantage as Speck gets up and continues on in second still. Love that line out of Leclerc. Let's just watch the man go to work out front. I have not seen the triple off the wall jump, but man, he was up there for a long time, just disappeared off your screen. So Leclerc leads us through on to lap number 3. Remember, this one goes 6 minutes and a lap. Top 9 transfer to the main event. I want to see if Leclerc does it again or if it was just a first lap thing that he does here. Well, he's going to the outside again, so let's see. Yeah, he is indeed tripling off the wall into this section and doubling out. I don't think I'm seeing anybody else do that. A lot of these guys going inside roll double-double in this section as Haley's moved back up into 3rd. Oh, a little case there for Haley. This might open the opportunity down the inside for Copeland to get him back. Copeland knifes the front end, and Haley holds onto the spot. Oh, Trent Adams hits the deck on the 44 on the outside of the berm here. Loses a ton of spots. Cohenauer just absolutely stuffed Kyle Carpenter in the corner here. We're 4 wide through the rhythm lane. Cohenauer getting the nod for the time being. Robert Wilson, Gunnar Fugler. Wilson goes down, cutting up the inside there. Kyle Carpenter, as the 37 goes off track and re-enters. That's Reed Young. We got Bobby DeSell, Trent Adams getting up from that crash, all in here. Tyler Lang, by the way, is in 17th. Second place in points right now. Definitely needs to go through. Siebold dead last on the track right now. Your defending champion. Inside in the whoops for Bobby DeSell on the 34. Rider down after the whoops is Dennis Fjellberg on the 3. Fjellberg trying to get turned around and not cause too much havoc as the 62 of Wilson comes in. Somebody goes flying through the Doblos bales in the background. Bobby DeSalle just hits the deck as up the inside, there comes Lang. First time we've seen the number 14 Moto Playground machine, and he is well back, but not too far off of transfer in 15th. Going for that outside triple in option, triple single. It's interesting to see what these 450 guys elect to do. Obviously, the preferred line in that rhythm section right there is the 3-3-3, but it's so hard to get that first three out of the corner, so Lang already electing to just go for the 2-3-3-1 option in that rhythm lane. And Gunnar Fugler just went down in the sand, so Dennis Fjellberg is in the final transfer spot right now, but look at this freight train behind him. Robert Wilson, Trent Adams, Jeremy Cohenauer at the front of this group. Oh my goodness, look at that freight train coming down the start straight. None of these guys we're looking at are in transfer, and Fjellberg just laid it down on the top of the wall jump. He gets hit from behind by Cohenauer. Wilson into the final transfer spot. Adams is right there. Cohenauer sneaking around the outside as that was Fugler up the inside trying to make a pass. Now Adams up the inside of Wilson. Wilson cuts back underneath. They're going to be close. They're rubbing number plates as Wilson goes to the left. Cohenauer trying to triple to the inside. Elects to go to the outside and follow him through. Wilson still in the final transfer spot. And these guys are just absolutely going for it in a freight train here. Wilson holding steady. Cohenauer just trying to bide his time here. Wait for the opportunity to open up. We also got to keep an eye out. There's Lang in the background on the 14, entering the whoops. Cohenauer down the inside, makes the pass for the final transfer spot, and that was Trent Adams hitting the deck as well. So Cohenauer up into 9th, Wilson back to 10th, Lang now sits 11th, Cooper is 12th, and your defending champion Siebold is in 13th, in danger of missing the main event, straight out of the heat race for the second week in a row. Wilson and Lang banging bars. Lang trying to close up. Cohenauer mistake. Lang almost hits him, and Wilson back into the final transfer spot. So Lang now up into 10th. As mentioned, Lang has finished second in back-to-back main events to start the season, only 6 points down at Jack Haley in the championship. And boy, oh boy, the last thing he wants to do is have to try to get in through the last chance qualifier. And we saw this 450 division last week. Every week in the LCQ is something different. Looks like something happened because Lang is in the final transfer spot. His former teammate back there, oh, the number 20 of Cohenauer is going to make the pass on him, so Lang stays 9th. They got around Caden Speck here. Lang trying to shoot up the inside of Cohenauer from the outside. Speck triples in, triples by, goes for the 2-for-1. Cohenauer into the corner. They're both down. Lang cuts underneath, and the 87 of Jeff Cooper takes advantage to go into the final transfer spot for the time being, but Cohenauer immediately trying to fight back up the inside, step on, step off line. Getting a little wayward, still trying to go inside. There it is, makes a pass into the final transfer spot, goes Cohenauer. Cooper trying to fight back, a nice scrub against the straight air Leclerc option out of Cohenauer, and Cooper around the outside. Cohenauer block pass up the inside, gets back into 9th. Oh, Cooper with a little bit of a bang and gets into the side of Cohenauer, gets back on the track sideways and is still sideways in the whoops. He's back to 10th. Cooper up to 9th as white flag waves for race leader Leclerc, who just went over to the finish line behind all these guys. Oh my goodness, this action has been crazy for these final transfer spots. Meanwhile, Haley's clawed his way all the way up to 2nd. Leclerc still triple-double through the wall jump and cruise control out front. Look at how sharp inside of that corner he's going and still tripling in and out of that section. Always has amazed me how Leclerc gets the drives to do some of the stuff that he does in this game. But very, very smooth and in control out front is the number 7. Like to go for the on-off option here. Lays it into the berm on the outside. Are we going to get any flare out of Leclerc? Yeah, a little kick-out whip. 23-second lead. Into the final corner, Leclerc dominates. 450 heat, number 1. Haley 2nd. Casey Ohlert still running inside the top 5 in 3rd. Copeland 4th. Matthias Janis running in 5th. Robert Wilson is now 6th. Here comes Lang. Lang from 7th behind Wilson trying to make the pass. Goes off the track behind him. Does a little tire tap just to stay up. Oh, Reed Young! Well, he lands it. He's going to get up. He's still going to be in 9th. Kohenauer just went by for 8th. Here comes Siebold. Siebold in 10th, trying to make it into the main event. Just like last week, he's going to just barely miss out unless he can make something happen here on Reed Young, or somebody else is down after the finish line jump. Again, people in the opposite lane, and Siebold down again. He is not going to the main event out of the heat race. He's got to go to the LCQ. Reed Young has made it through, and the 52 of Fugler over there, just exactly what I was talking about earlier on, as Siebold crosses the line 11th. DeSalle, Carpenter, Fugler, Fjellberg, Adams, Pearson, Speck, Kerr missing out on transfer spots as well, but Fugler just almost created havoc over there because he was sitting in the opposite lane, and riders almost running into the side of him. So that almost got dicey there in a hurry, but it looks like cuts did not change anything throughout the running order, and race winner confirmed, AJ Originals number 7, Alexis Leclerc, the 2018 MotoOption Clothing Supercross champion. Looking to go for his 2nd career championship indoors this year. Gets done with the heat race victory here tonight. All right, 450 heat number 2, the last of the heat races coming up next. So it's get nervous time for some of these guys. That was actually a rather stacked heat race. We saw Siebold, Haley, and Leclerc all in that one. We should look to see Colton Mitchell, perhaps Jeremy Smith, Adam Holm, Isaiah Dickerson, Braden Carter. Coming up in the next one, Chase Blakely. So we'll see who is in this one. Give a quick sponsor read while we're on intermission again. This time I'll go ahead and give a shout out to MX Simulator, the game we all love here. Without MX Simulator, and more specifically Josh Vanderhoof, none of this would be possible. MX Simulator captures that motocross feeling like no other game you've ever picked up, and Race Factory owes everything to JLV. Thanks, Josh, for all of the continued dedicated supported years to Race Factory Gaming competition and to developing MX Simulator to what it is today. Definitely a very different game than what we were playing in 2008 when this thing all got started. 2010, first year of MX Simulator Pro Supercross. And there wasn't even 450s in the game back then. That's right, the Premier Class Championship was all 250F based. And a lot of things were very different about the game back then. But continues to improve, slowly but surely. In fact, if you haven't checked out the latest thing JLV did, he released a new snapshot 2 days ago, and yesterday I believe it was, or maybe 2 days ago as well, he released a new game, a little mini game that he added that we'll probably be playing a little bit here on Start Your Systems, called Moto Ball, which is basically just soccer inside of his old JLV stadiums with the new shape files that you can actually hit items and they'll get sent across the map and stuff like that. So he made a soccer ball, fun little game that you can get online and play with your buddies. Splits up the teams evenly, and play a little bit of soccer. The physics for it are very interesting. The ball never leaves the ground, but you can smash it and it just goes flying around the arena, so it's kind of fun. And cool that JLV is still putting little weird quirks in the game like that all these years later. All right. Final heat race action. Getting ready to go. We'll take a look at Colton Mitchell on the 6 on the inside. Top 9, go to the main. Let's find out who they are. Little bit of contact there in the back. 17 of Adam Holm up the inside. Will get the whole shot now. Does he hold the lead? Because around the outside, 3-3 option Carter to the lead on the 19. So Carter, Holm, Magnetti, Leitzel, Leak up inside of the top 5. Leak, a little bit of alternate rhythm lines here. To the outside, Braden Castellaneta on the 63. Sabrina Ritzler up the inside here. Chase Blakely, and then Colton Mitchell, who we were looking at on the start, looks to be rounding out the top 9 right now, as Carter leads him around. Number 19, SwapMotoLive.com machine just ahead of Atom.com's Adam Holm. Holm looking to try to get right back into the race lead after coughing up his early hole shot. Fun little tidbit about Adam Holm this week as he looks to double in off the wall. Adam Holm is a pretty avid dubstep, drum and bass kind of guy. Loves that music. And I didn't know this about him, but apparently he's been in the works lately of producing some music as well. So he just dropped his debut single last week, Oasis. If you head over to Spotify or iTunes right now and look up Atom Oasis, you'll be able to find his single. Not the biggest fan of that type of music, but it's still an interesting song and sounds kind of cool. So just a little tidbit about him. Give a little bit more flavor to these guys. Sometimes you guys watching these streams don't exactly know who these guys are, but a lot of people big fans of Adam Holm, and rightly so. Also putting out some music, kind of cool to see. Getting past, though, perhaps around the outside. Logan Lights on the 13. See if he's going to triple in here. No, elects to back out and go 2-3-2. And then again, 2-3-3-1 for these guys in this rhythm lane, although Leitzel didn't want to land on Holm there, so backs out of the challenge. Inside, tries to go on-off, but a little wayward there. This guy's losing a lot of ground already. Carter's opened up a nice lead out front. So here is Holm still second, Leitzel third. This is a great battle. I don't want to leave it just yet because I feel like Leitzel might size something up here soon. Kind of funny that they're almost running the same exact gear as well. Actually, they are running the same gear. They're just running different boots. It's throwing me off a little bit. Oh, Holm goes for the 3, and he gets it. It's not faster, though, I don't think. I mean, Leitzel went roll, double, and pretty much stayed with Holm, who goes over the bars. Over the bars goes Adam Holm. Here comes Roy Mitchell. He'll go by. Colton Mitchell on the 6 also going by. No relation here for either of those Mitchell dudes. Braden Castellaneta also got through, and here is Holm now just ahead of Chase Blakely. Luke Magnetti looks like he might be in that final transfer spot. I'm sorry, actually he's in 8th, so Sabrina Ritzler, MX Simulator's fastest woman, out here running in 9th. Still at it all these years later. I feel like I bring it up all the time when we talk about her, but she actually won the 450 main event back in 2012 at Indianapolis. The very first year MotoOption Clothing was the title sponsor of this series, beating Tyson Fresquez and Austin Jones. Just put Adam Holm on the ground right there as well. Sabrina Ritzler is a main event winner in this series, so really cool to see she's still out here getting after it and being competitive with some of the top players in this game. We got another rider down. That was Roy Mitchell. Ooh, Mitchell, big case right there. Ritzler able to go back on by. They are battling it out for 6th on the track right now. Chase Blakely just behind them. Ritzler made a mistake. That's going to cost her 2 spots. Oh, man, Blakely got so sideways on the double in there. So Ritzler able to get back on by. Now she's trying to go up the inside of Mitchell, and Blakely might be looking for a pass opportunity in his own sense. Over the finish line, jump down the backside, into the whoops. Man, Ritzler looks like she has those whoops dialed and just ripped that corner. Trying to get to the inside of the 35 machine. Can't quite get it done just yet of Roy Mitchell. Oh, coming across the inside of the corner, maybe showing a little bit of a love tap there. And here comes Blakely to make the pass. So he moves up into 7th, I believe this is. So settling things down, it's still Carter leading the way, but Logan Leitzel slowly but surely has been inching his way up to the rear fender of Carter, and as I say that, he has a wild ride in the whoops, but saves it. Nicely done for the 13 machine. 2.4 second lead. It was down a little bit. Leitzel 1.6 seconds down now. You can see Carter going the other direction there. Got a lap rider kind of playing a little bit close here with Leitzel. These 450 guys they straight up don't want to triple into this section anymore. They're doing that double line. I like what it does at the end of that section, though, because it opens up the opportunity to roll that single to the inside and then hit that inside lip to do the on-off down the backstretch. it's nice to have that option opened up, because otherwise if you just did the 3-3-3, it'd be really hard to hit that inside line. Everybody would funnel to the outside to be super one-lined. But these guys kind of using what the track gives them to take some different options, and this time Leitzel doesn't survive the whoops. Got sideways and hits the deck. Took that lapper with him as well. So Carter hit the big triple out front just like Leclerc. Big lead now over Leitzel, who gets up still in second. Mitchell, Colton version, running in third. Braden Castaneda's in fourth. Luke Magnetti in fifth. Roy Mitchell's in sixth. Chase Blakely right behind him in seventh. Eighth for Sabrina Ritzler, and Craig Leak is in ninth. But here comes Phil Bull, Tanner Rogers, and Adam Holm all right behind him. Oh, and Leak just went down. So that will promote Phil Bull to the final transfer spot. Oh, and Tanner Rogers almost into the back room. Rogers goes for the 3 over. He's going to land just behind him. You're in the air for so long on that jump. It's absolutely insane. Interesting, it seemed like Leclerc was able to kind of scrub it as Rogers down the inside for the final transfer spot. Gets it done easily in the end. No fight back just yet from Phil Bull, but he gets the rhythm line a little bit better. Holm up the inside will go into 10th, though. Phil Bull making some mistakes. And Holm taking advantage, now trying to close up on Tanner Rogers for this final transfer spot. Through the sand section they go. This is going to be white flag this time by for these guys. So one more lap left for Adam Holm to make it happen if he doesn't want to go to that last chance qualifier. Through the whoops. They're catching Chase Blakely. This could be interesting if Rogers tries to make something happen on Blakely. Rogers goes for the triple in. Down the inside. Gets into the back of Blakely, but stays up, and Holm takes advantage. Meanwhile, up front, Braden Carter's going to come through, and he takes the win in heat number 2. Leitzel misses out in second. Mitchell there in third. Magnetti fourth. Castaneda fifth. Roy Mitchell in sixth. Sabrina Ritzler is in seventh. Eighth for Chase Blakely, and ninth is now Tanner Rogers, it looks like, but Rogers just went down. So Rogers goes down, and that's going to promote Adam Holm into the final transfer spot. Does Phil Bull have a desperation pass attempt in him, just like we've seen in these 250 races? Oh, he just misses out. That was close in the end. 2/10 down. It could come down to cuts there. You never know. Craig Leak over the line 11th. Devin Davis there 12th. Tanner Rogers 13th. William St. Laurent will be 14th in this one. 15th for Jay Turner. 16th for Eduardo Simos. 17th was Andrew Wood. 18th for Tyler Schmidt. 19th for Sean Klein. And only 19 guys started this one, so we'll wait for those cuts to come in and give us the official tally. But unofficially, Braden Carter taking the win here in 450 heat number 2. All right, cuts in. Nothing changes. Holmes stays in. Everybody else out, headed to that last chance qualifier. By the way, I wanted to give a shout out to a couple people in chat that I missed out on so far tonight. I know there was one donation way at the top early on, and I'm sorry that I missed your name, but I appreciate it. I also want to give a shout out to This Is Def, aka Nathan Nickerson. He donated $2. Appreciate that. Average Kurt Cooks, $5 donation, says another great broadcast. Appreciate that, Kurt. Really appreciate it. And Agris Sixna, hope I said that right, buddy. A €10 donation in the chat as well. Thank you guys so much for all the donations. Really appreciate it. Helps keep us going here at Start Your Systems year after year, bringing you guys the coverage of MotoOption Clothing Supercross. And I hope wherever you are tonight, you're having a great time as we head into a little brief intermission here, I should say, with the last chance qualifiers getting ready to load up. So back in booth here, Kellen Brower, loading into these last chance qualifiers, and we're getting ready to go racing. Some big names in these LCQs. Obviously, Daniel Mills is going to be one of the big ones that we'll talk about in this 250 last chance qualifier, but Dominic Tiberino, I believe, also is going to be in this last chance qualifier, so we'll keep an eye out for him. In the 450 division, we saw Jeremy Siebel again missing out, going straight to the main from the heat race, so he'll have to go through the LCQ again this week, or otherwise his championship hopes are probably all but gone. Rough first round, finishing 10th, and then straight up not making the main event at round 2 always makes things a little bit more difficult. And we saw just last year Alexis Leclerc, who's in the title fight this year already, missing the first couple main events of the year, and pretty much took him right out of the title fight, could not get back in time to make anything happen. So we'll see whether or not Siebel can make it happen in this 450 LCQ. But first, we're loading in to this 250 last chance qualifier, and we're going to see what exactly happens with these guys on the track. All right, loading into this last chance qualifier coming up in just a quick moment. So we're going to see what exactly is going to happen. Top 4, remember, will transfer through to the main event. Yo, Jack Gushlag, please stop spamming. Or yeah, I guess the mods are already going through and deleting your messages. So you keep spamming and we'll just kick you right on out of here. All right, Danny Mills, Austin Bear, Travis Hoffman, Rogan McIntosh, Riley Hewen, Nick Tomasunis, Nate Tunnell, Jack Gatlin, Tanner Thorson, Seth Shirley, Fernando Andrade, Brian Brinker, Anthony Pichon, Colton Hansen, Joseph Pilsner, Ben Seberg, and Casey Cochran in this last chance qualifier. Remember, Seberg was your fastest qualifier. Casey Cochran just missed out on the main event. When he got hit from behind by Chris Post in the final corner. He was in 9th, ended up finishing in, I believe, 12th in his heat race. So we'll see what happens. Shout out to all 450 you guys still hanging out watching the broadcast here tonight. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself. It's time to get revved up, though. Four people are headed to the main, and everybody else is headed home in this 250 class. Let's find out who they are. It's the 250 Last Chance Qualifier live on Start Your Systems. Inside move for somebody. It looks like Mills might get there first, but up the inside, it's going to be the 441 to Seth Shirley. Grabbing the whole shot. A good start for Mills, though, is going to put him in a good position early on as he tries to funnel in behind these guys. Ryder down in the second corner, hit the inside pole, and that's going to cost him dearly as this race is going to develop very quickly. Mills almost jumping on the back of Seth Shirley as we got Austin Bear and Rogan McIntosh up inside of the top 4 early on. Everybody else trying to funnel in as Mills goes after race leader Seth Shirley out front. So 1 lap in the books. Remember, this one goes 5 minutes and a lap. And we'll see whether or not these guys can make it right into the main event without too many problems, or does this last chance qualifier get crazy in a hurry? Meanwhile, Ben Seberg, your fastest qualifier, is up in 5th, and he's closed up on the back door of Rogan McIntosh. Looks like Mills might be going for the race lead up front. Oh, Seberg coming up short, plows into McIntosh and takes over the final transfer spot. Riley Hewen also going on by there. Hewen around the outside, McIntosh down the inside. Split lines basically for those SwapMotoLive.com teammates. Seberg is in the final transfer spot. Daniel Mills still not gotten the lead away from Seth Shirley just yet. The Atom.com machine holding steady out front. Oh, Shirley a little mistake in the whoops. Mills is going to get a good drive down the outside. Shirley block passes him, holds on to the race lead. Look at how close this is back here still. Austin Bear running in 3rd. Ben Seberg is in 4th. And then 3 riders right behind Seberg outside of transfer spot, but wanting to get in. Mills still trying to go after Shirley for the lead. Split option, but it's almost like that 2-2-1 out of the rhythm isn't as bad as it looks. Shirley goes for the the triple, but comes up a little bit short. And Mills making little mistakes behind him. We've lost Ben Seberg. Seberg must have gone down because Austin Bear now has Hewen right behind him. Hewen is in the final transfer spot. Rogan McIntosh trying to close up behind him. Nice little scrub over the triple. Hewen down the inside of Bear. Just backs out of the challenge as Bear shuts the door. Now it's going to be bar to bar with the finish line jump. Hewen's going to try to swoop this line to the whoops as Bear holds the inside. It's going to be bar to bar into the whoops. Who gets the better drive? Hewen up into 3rd. Now can his teammate Rogan McIntosh make something happen here? Oh, these guys are so close. Don't want to touch those rear tires on the wall jump and come to a dead stop. Oh, down goes the 844 of Bear. That will promote McIntosh into the final transfer spot. But remember, Casey Cochran should have just barely made it in that heat race, but got plowed in the last corner. So can he close up and make it interesting for this final transfer spot? Currently held down by Rogan McIntosh. Teammates on the SwapMotoLive.com effort right now battling it out for third. Over the finish line jump. Cochran losing a little bit of time, but he's not too far back. And if things get a little bit interesting up here, you never know. Mills still working on Shirley for the lead. Finally got it there. Seth Shirley has held on to this lead for a good while there, but Mills trying to take advantage of it. Now they're bar to bar again. Shirley up alongside, going to square off down the inside of this section. Doesn't get the preferred line, which Mills does, but it still ends up pretty close. In fact, Shirley's back to the race lead. Mills a mistake. Shirley doesn't get the preferred option there, so Mills going to try to go up the inside. These guys are having a great race out front, very respectful as well, but I think they're also trying to be very cautious of each other. Don't want to cough up this final transfer, or don't cough up a transfer spot. Battling for the lead in the LCQ, but easily could both go down and find themselves outside looking in. So Mills just stalking Seth Shirley right now, still looking for an opportunity to open up. 4 minutes down. We're probably going to run out of time before we get to the flag next time by. So white flag should be coming out next time by. Mills still has not quite made it happen. He's going to go for the 333 line. That's the preferred option, but seriously, that way that rhythm lane is shaping up, it doesn't seem like the big line is as fast as you think it might be. Staying low in those rhythm lanes looks to be preferable. So white flag is going to come out this time by. Seth Shirley will check in out front. Daniel Mills right behind him in second. Riley Hewen in third, and Rogan McIntosh is in fourth, but uh-oh, here comes Casey Cochran. The number 90 machine, Moto Playground ride, trying to make it into this main event. Only 4 riders go through, so being P5 means absolutely nothing, and Cochran knows it. Oh, down goes McIntosh, and Cochran takes advantage. Now, can he hold on to the position is the question. Mills has dropped back to third by the looks of it. McIntosh just trying to close up and make things interesting. Got a good line here down the inside if he can get this on-off clean, and he does. Down the inside, back up the inside, and he makes the pass, but he blows the corner. And that should be enough because he does not get the Supercross triple. Meanwhile, Seth Shirley wins the LCQ. Mills comes across second, Hugh in third, and Cochran this time goes to the main event in fourth. McIntosh just missing out in the end. Blew the Supercross triple, really blew the triple before the Supercross triple, and it cost him. Your fastest qualifier, Ben Seberg, done for the night. He is out of this one in sixth. Joseph Pilsner, Nate Tunnell, Fernando Andrade, Brian Brinker, Anthony Pachone, Travis Hoffman, Nick Tomasunis, Austin Bear, Tanner Thorson, Jack Gatland, Colton Hansen, all missing out in this 250 East division. So we'll wait for cuts to be official here, but it looks like Casey Cochran has just made the main event in Houston. Still waiting on one rider to finish up here. There we go, and ooh, it was much closer than you might have thought. Only 4/10 in it after cuts were applied. Cochran had 1.12 seconds of cuts, so had he had 1.52 seconds of cuts, it would have just barely been in by the skin of his teeth. So fortunately for him, he does hold on to that spot despite those cuts, almost tossing him out of this race. And he is now headed to the main event along with Riley Hewen, Daniel Mills, and Seth Shirley here at Houston 3. All right, one LCQ down, one more to go. The 450 last chance qualifier coming up next. Once again, 4 riders headed through to the main event. Everybody else headed back to the stands to watch this one. And this one is going to be presented by Phil's Ski and Snowboard. Big shout out to a new sponsor here at Race Factor Gaming. Phil's Ski and Snowboard is your one-stop shop for all things ski and snowboard. They have over 35 years of industry experience, along with a youthful and knowledgeable staff giving you the best experience you can find in Orange County, whether it's tune-ups and repairs, seasonal leases, retail, or just giving information on the latest and greatest equipment. They're here to make sure you get the most out of your winter. Hit up Phil's Ski and Snowboard today. Whoops. Little issue there. Don't worry, ladies and gents, I'll fix it. I got a question in chat from Braden Coltrane. When is the series making the switch to MX bikes? So I actually wanted to address this at some point anyway. Oh, whoops. Went to the wrong server. My bad. It's never going to be like I switch to MX bikes and I leave MX Sim behind situation. If MX bikes has a series and somebody wants me to stream their series, I'll do it. But that doesn't mean I'm going to give up Sim. We've done Sim races for so many years, over a decade now. Of course, we want to keep the ball rolling for as long as we can, and this community supports it and everything like that. As for the MX Bikes races, quite honestly, I don't think it's there yet. I've seen MX Bikes races in spectator mode. I've seen MX Bikes races, like the more or less pro races in MX Bikes from onboard cameras. And it's still too glitchy. The netcode needs to be updated a little bit more. It needs to have a little bit more predictive nature like JLV's netcode has, so that we can see the racing a little bit more live and in action instead of having to go back and watch replays of everything. So once it gets there, once we're getting to the point where MX Bikes can handle that, absolutely, I'm going to switch over and start doing any series that really wants to have me over there. But for right now, I think it's just a little bit too far off. So 450 last chance qualifier coming up. I apologize for that issue there a little bit. I ran out of virtual memory in the game, which happens from time to time when you're having to load in a lot of skins and then the computer just all at once has to handle all that stuff. These scram files take forever to load, so that's why the long load times. But nice little screen we've created here this year to thank all of our sponsors, MotoOption Clothing, of course, Race Factor Gaming for putting it on, Racetech Suspension, MXS Lobby, OGL Paco, Start Your Systems here, Phil and Ski and Snowboard, and Underground RC. All sponsors here. Another question in chat from Kadenu. How do you participate in these? Head over to racefactorygaming.com. They're going to have a whole list of things that you can compete in over there. This is the Pro Series. If you're new to MX Simulator, never competed before, they'll obviously slot you in the Amateur Series, or actually the Novice class for Supercross. But there's also an Amateur Series. There's 250 Amateur Racing and Open Class Amateur Racing that you can compete in. There's a whole license system. Basically, just go over to racefactorygaming.com, get signed up, and kind of figure out the details of the races when they happen. There's a lot of information on that site. You just kind of have to skim through it and look through it all. These races are on Wednesday nights, obviously, but the amateur races are on Sunday nights for North America. There's EU races, pro races on Thursday, and a whole lot of other things. So, yeah, just head over to racefactorygaming.com and they'll dial you in. All right, here's the big man that we got to focus on in this last chance qualifier. A lot of big names in this one as well, but the biggest of them all is defending champion Jeremy Siebold on the Panini Motorsports ride. Can he make it through this week in the LCQ? Let's find out. Not a good start, and a lot of contact, and he's going to go down, and he's off the bike as well. That was brutal for him as Fjellberg gets a hole shot. Now, Fjellberg is currently top 10 in these 450 standings, so he definitely wants to go through and make the main event this week as well. Tanner Rogers Alex Kerr looks like he's in fourth. He just got passed by Bobby DeSalle. Sean Klein trying to make the pass up into fourth. Not quite able to just get in there just yet. Oh, contact in the background. Lots of riders going down. That's going to help Seabolt a ton as these guys get together back there. Seabolt still, I have not seen him come through back there. So it's looking like it's going to be a rough uphill battle for Seabolt, who may have just straight up disconnected. That first corner, Fjellberg down with the lead, and he takes Trent Adams with him. I'm sorry, that's Tanner Rogers. Got mixed up with the 22 and the 44 there. But Bobby DeSalle takes over the race lead, and yeah, it does look like Seabolt disconnected immediately. So Seabolt out of this race, dead last, did not continue after that first corner. And Seabolt, for the second week in a row, your defending champion, is not going to the main event here tonight. Tanner Rogers sliding out in that corner, a little bit of a bobble. So right now it is Bobby DeSalle from Devin Davis, Alex Kerr, and Dennis Fjellberg in the transfer spots. Fjellberg holding off teammate Tanner Rogers. A lot of SwapMotoLive.com guys out here tonight. Trent Adams trying to close up. So race is only 5 minutes in a lap. 450 LCQ circulating here at Houston 3. Rider down. That's Fjellberg again, and Adams plows into him. And then everybody going down trying to avoid him in the whoops. That was Jeff Cooper hitting the deck. So the top four have a big gap to work with now as Devin Davis on the SwapMotoLive.com number 29 goes to the race lead. Davis leads the way from DeSalle, Alex Kerr, and Tanner Rogers. Caden Speck has now moved up into fifth, and he's bringing with him William St. Laurent, the rider out of Canada on the BPC number 45. Big case there in the middle of the rhythm section. These guys both outside looking in. Trent Adams, Dennis Fjellberg. Fjellberg down again. Oh, this might spell the end of the night for the Norwegian rider, who had a great finish last week and was sitting, I believe, 6th in the 450 standings, but he is probably heading home after this one. This LCQ has not gone his way whatsoever after an early race lead after that hole shot. Top four, though, there they all are on your screen coming into your view. Out front, looking like they're maybe just going to have a Sunday cruise as Bobby DeSalle almost triples onto Devin Davis's back right there. Inside DeSalle to the race lead. Davis just funnels in behind. Remember, these guys have a big enough gap that they just don't want to go down in this last chance qualifier. Davis a little bit short, DeSalle a little nose high. Here comes Tanner Rogers on the 22. Trying to sneak up the inside. Going to go bar to bar with his teammate Devin Davis into the Supercross triple. So 1, 2, 3 on screen. 1, 2, 3 on the track. And right behind them in fourth there is Alex Kerr, and you can see all of our transfer spots just going over the finish line jump together. Double triple for Devin Davis, so he clearly picked up on what Bobby DeSalle was doing right there to then swing wide and go triple in this first section. If you have the freedom to do that, I think that is the preferred fast option for these guys, but I don't think everybody has that freedom when they're running in a tight battle and they got to try to close off that inside in that flat corner. Davis making a couple bobbles here and there, losing a little bit of time. Nice whip over the triple, though. So far, DeSalle just opening up that gap out front. Whoa, DeSalle. Not sure if there was an issue there with his internet, but the cameras are not picking him up very well. So we go back to Alex Kerr, who's in fourth. His top four train looks like they're pretty well set, at least for the time being. It is Trent Adams back there in fifth right now, but he's about 7 seconds off of this group. You might see him going the other way in the rhythm lane. Yeah, he just entered before the wall there. Rogers finally makes the pass on teammate Devin Davis. I think Davis is kind of in that mode where he just wants to not make that big mistake as Alex Kerr almost triples onto his back. So Davis is trying to kind of tighten the old legs around the bike and hold on. Cases the triple hard, though. Kerr going to try to swing to the outside and make the pass. Now goes to the inside and makes the pass. Davis, yeah, I think just letting him go here at this point. white flag out, so nothing big needs to happen. Kerr just lets him go back by, so interesting tactics with these two. They're just having maybe a little bit of fun out there, but Adams, I mean, if either of these guys crashed, Adams might be just on them or just about getting to them. They're lapping Tyler Schmidt right now, the 2016 East 250 champion, and Davis has gotten mounted there by Tyler Schmidt in the corner. Davis swinging to the outside, still not electing to triple in, as is pretty much nobody in this class. Oh, DeSalle lays it over out front. That's going to give Tanner Rogers the lead. And Bobby DeSalle's timing and scoring is still messed up. I'm not sure what's going on with it, but hopefully it sets in as Tanner Rogers wins the LCQ. DeSalle unofficially comes across second. Alex Kerr slides out in the last corner, so Davis will come across unofficially third, and now Kerr will cross the line in what should be fourth, but I'm still confused about what's going on with DeSalle because it's going to list Trent Adams in fourth right now, but Bobby DeSalle, who's already crossed the finish line on his screen, he's finished this race, and there it is. It finally updated now, so he's finished second there. Trent Adams comes across fifth. Craig Leak was sixth. William St. Laurent there, seventh. Kyle Carpenter, Dennis Fjellberg, that's a big one to miss the main right there. Sean Klein, Gunnar Fugler, Phil Bull, Brock Pearson, Jay Turner, Tyler Schmidt, Caden Speck, Eduardo Simos, Jeff Cooper, Andrew Wood, and Jeremy Siebold. Second week in a row, the defending champion not going to the main event here tonight, and pretty much the end of any chance that he might have had after the disaster of last week to still salvage a chance at the title is gone. So it looks likely we will see a different champion in MotoOption Supercross this year, which is a bold statement to say 3 rounds in, but Siebold missing the second and third main events of the year usually tends to key into stuff like that happening. Right now, Haley's looking pretty strong for it, but we'll see how it all plays out once the main event goes off here tonight in Houston 3. Alrighty, so last chance qualifier is done. That means main events are coming up, folks, and we'll kick it off with this 250 East main event. 15 minutes plus a lap, 22 riders going out there on the gate. Round number 3 of this 250 East Division Championship. And we're going to see what can happen in this class. Can Colby Eaglin pick up his second win of the season and extend his points lead, or will Jacob Hubbard, last week's winner, continue his string of success and win again? Daniel Mills looking for his 4th career win, going through this last chance qualifier tonight, not the way he was hoping to do it. Nathan Prins looked fast here tonight, won his heat race. We'll see if the young Frenchman on the number 42 can make something happen. Luke Sullivan also looking for his first career win. So a lot of guys looking to make some stuff happen, and we'll see who can make that big dent tonight in this 250 East Division. Also give a shout out to another one of our sponsors. This one goes out to Underground RC, the leader in radio-controlled fun, on-site indoor off-road track and carpet track. Large in-store RC selection, Underground RC. Seems like a really cool place if you're really into RC cars. So definitely check them out. I believe they're based in North Carolina. All right, so 250 main event coming up next. I'll send it over to chat real quick and let you guys pick your favorites. Who you think is going to win tonight? We've got defending champion Colby Eaglin. We've got Jacob Hubbard, last week's winner. We've got Nathan Pryn, won his heat race earlier tonight. Luke Sullivan has been looking pretty strong here tonight, but also had a crash in his heat race. Daniel Mills having to go through the LCQ. Whole lot of other guys that could get in here and make it interesting. So let us know, chat, what you think. Who's going to win this main event tonight in the 250 East Division as we're about to go racing for round 3 of their series. Gonna be an interesting one for sure. A lot of D Mills. We got Bob Joe vote in chat. Someone thinks T Crane's gonna win. Landon Dickerson thinks that Nathan Pryn is gonna win this one. Daniel Irvine got a Jacob Hubbard vote. Bob Joe. The Bob Joe vote's coming in heavy. Whoa, thank you, Brody Horner and Devin Davis hitting donations at the same time. Brody Horner with $4.49 Australian dollars says, sorry, it's not much. I'm pretty broke, LOL. Hey, anything you guys donate, it means a ton to me, so thank you so much for the donation. Devin Davis says, let's go, with a $5 donation as well. He just made it in out of that last chance qualifier. But it's time for round 3 of the 250 East Division Championship here in MX Simulator. Houston 3 lined up and ready to go. Let's drop the gate in the 250 main event. Good start, Prin. Controls it to the first corner, and he's going to get it. Nathan Prin, no, just beat to the line. RaceDirectorGaming.com whole shot award goes to Hubbard. But Prin immediately to the race lead. D-Mills from the far outside is going to come out in third, and I think I saw Eaglin hitting the deck in the first corner, so your defending champion is buried. This is a great opportunity for Prin to get out front and try to lead this thing, but he might not hold on for long. Hubbard down the inside, tries to go to the lead, bar to bar, and they make contact. Bar to bar over the triple as well. Prin going to swoop in from the outside and control the lead as they come down to the finish line jump to complete lap number 1. It's Nathan Prin leading the way over the line from Jacob Hubbard. And Daniel Irvine's moved up into third. Daniel Mills back to fourth. Casey Cochran up inside of the top 5 with Dalton Plessinger right behind him. Still not seeing the number 1 come through just yet. We'll see where he sorts out. Looks like he might be in about 8th spot, so maybe just stayed on 2 wheels through that first corner. But it's the Frenchman Prin out front early on. Little mistake there for Hubbard. Lost some traction out of the corner, but is able to just hold on as Irvine closes up behind him on the 96. They're losing touch with Prin as contact. Cochran in the background getting into the side of Daniel Mills. Little mistake for Hubbard. Swings wide. This might open the opportunity for Irvine to get into second. That's exactly what's going to happen. Let's see, can he still get this triple? Hubbard lands on him, and they both go down on the triple face. That's going to be huge for Hubbard, as going through there was Eaglin on the 1. That's going to be points, baby, as Hubbard just gets over the triple face. Just in the landing there. Now almost bumps into the back of Daniel Irvine again. That is not going to be a happy camper there, Jacob Hubbard, because Irvine cross-jumped him as Hubbard was trying to go to the left side of the track and not hit him. Rasmus Balzer, heat race winner, mixed into this group as well. Here is defending champion Colby Eaglin down the inside, trying to make a pass on Cochran on the 90. He'll get it done. Next up is Bob Joe, still running a strong third place early on here on the 103. Triple in by Eaglin, triple again, and triple into the corner out here. So Eaglin has that line dialed in. Then checks up to go on-off here. Trying to move up into third. How about Bob Joe on the 103, though? Didn't make that first main event of the year, and we didn't see him last week. But this week made it into the main event, now running in a podium spot here early on. Let's see how long he can keep things close here. Your defending champion, Colby Eaglin, trying to make a pass. Stick somewhere. It goes inside on the wall jump. They're going to be bar to bar. Eaglin going to swoop into the outside here. Let's see if there's a different line that Eaglin tries to size up here. He's going to swing wide and cut back low. Does he go 2-3? Yeah, they both go 2-3. Bob Joe gets it as well. Eaglin, this is going to be that triple line. Triple in, triple again, and that'll be a move up into the 3 spot, but our leader's down. Nathan Prin just got up from a slight tip over, which means Daniel Mills, right out of the last chance qualifier, is leading the main event in Houston. Unbelievable turn of events for the number 15 machine. Now can Prin fight back on the 42? And with Eaglin closing the gap down, this could be very interesting. Top 3 only separated by a couple of seconds. The top 2 are separated by a couple of bike lengths. Nathan Prin already on the back door of Mills, and he hits him. And Mills gets kind of stacked sideways in the middle of the track. Prin, a big mistake, and there goes Eaglin to the lead. Now Prin trying to cut back up underneath. Bob Joe hits Daniel Mills in the background. Prin electing to go for the lower option here. Now can Eaglin just triple away through here and get a big gap opened up? He does get the 3 in and the 3 again. So Eaglin to the front. But what does Nathan Prin have? He's been fast here all night long. And this could definitely get interesting in a hurry. We lost Little bit of battle, though, behind us, though. It seems like whatever happened with Daniel Mills, he's lost some time. He's now 6 seconds back of these guys, so maybe got together with somebody back there. Cochran now moves up to 4th. Sullivan inside of the top 5. And looks like no sign of Hubbard just yet. Not in the top 10 for your winner last week. Bob Joe drops from 3rd to 11th. There is Hubbard now in 12th. He's 17 seconds down as the battle up front starting to heat up a little bit. Nathan Prynne on lap times alone might be closing this gap down. 56.1 last time by, but he's done a 53 flat. Alternate rhythm line, and that's preferred. Inside, this might be the move right here. Not quite close enough. It's going to pull up alongside again, but has to double in right here. And Eaglin, for the time being, holds it off. Prynne down the inside in the sand to the lead. And back out front on the 42. Now can Eaglin respond? It's going to come down to consistency as this track starts to break down. Nathan Prynne, can he adapt to it? Colby Eaglin, we know he can. He's won in the series before. He's your defending champion. Nathan Prynne has never won in this series. In fact, it's only his 2nd career Supercross main event start after a terrific rookie campaign in the outdoors. So could we be looking at back-to-back first-time winners in this 250 division with Prynne out front, Dickerson again getting that 333 line, but it's a little bit slower, this line that he takes in the back section, roll in and then table over to the next table, step off and single to the outside. Prynne able to cut up underneath and really carry his speed on those on-offs by jumping on top of them from the inside. And look at the gap already opened up a little bit now. Another lap in the books, still not even halfway yet. Oh, Prynne a little sideways entering the whoops. Nicely done. All right, so settling in, it's still Prynne from Eaglin. Daniel Mills sitting in 3rd early on. Casey Cochran back here in 4th, trying to hold off the charge from the number 18 machine. That's Luke Sullivan. Sullivan goes to the outside and does not elect to double in. This looked like he maybe just was carrying some momentum. Rasmus Balzer, heat winner from earlier tonight. Motorsport.com rider now finds himself in 6th with Riley Hewen right behind him. Then we got Seth Shirley. And here is last week's winner, Jacob Hubbard. Not ideal whatsoever to crash that early in the main event because you lose so much time and so many positions. It's actually not too far off of a potential podium if some more misfortune happens in front of him, because the 2 leaders are essentially gone, and then Mills, about 10 seconds off the lead, is at the front of this train just going down the start straight in the other direction. So Hubbard, who I believe is sitting in 9th currently, is not that far behind these guys. You can see how close it is with some of these guys still. Hewen right behind Balzer. Luke Sullivan goes for the triple in line, triple over. Casey Cochran. Cochran stuffs him in the next corner and holds the spot. This is a great ride for Casey Cochran, who not only got bumped out of the final transfer spot in the heat race in the last corner, but just barely made it in the LCQ, finishing 4th by the skin of his teeth. Got a good start in this main event, and so far, really turning it into a positive ride so far. Trying to hold off this pressure from Sullivan behind. Sullivan looking for his opportunity to pounce. A lot of times these guys get into a situation where they're just looking for one section on the track where they gain just a slight little bit more time, and that's where they try to make their move. They try to take full advantage of either a small mistake or maybe just getting the section a little bit cleaner than they did the last time through. Like this right here, triple single Sullivan, but he's not going to do the on-off line, which I think is going to be the faster option there. So for the time being, Cochran is holding steady. 4.8 second lead for Prynne out front, continuing to extend that advantage on Eagland. Sullivan's still looking for a way around on Cochran, and at this point, Balzer on that 250 machine is closing up behind these guys. Cut underneath for Sullivan. This is going to be it, a drive in the whoops down the inside. Oh, and he almost goes down, but he still tries to make the pass, lays it down in the corner, and that's going to be a position lost as well. Balzer goes by. Now Balzer trying to make a pass on Casey Cochran. You also got to be mindful of Riley Hewen back here on the 66. And then it looks like just behind this group now is Hubbard, going the other way on the rhythm lanes now. Balzer, oh, I thought he might be going over the front there. And Sullivan hits his rear tire. Little bit wayward there for a second, but able to stay on two wheels, and Hewen almost runs into the back of him. Nice whip for Sullivan, but losing time to these guys ahead. Balzer's got the moves coming up here on Casey Cochran, trying to get into this 4 spot and maybe go after Daniel Mills up the road for a podium. Balzer going to try the inside like Sullivan did in the whoops, but Cochran's so quick in the whoops and a nice job at defending. That is real life Casey Cochran, who rides for Gas in the amateur ranks. And obviously being as fast as he is in real life, surely he has some great racecraft to go with that, and doing a great job at closing off the line in the whoops when Rasmus Balzer had an opportunity to slide down the inside. We got a rider down. That was a lapped rider that those guys just jumped over. Really impressive ride, though, by Cochran at this point to come from the LCQ, have the kind of tumultuous night that he's had, and immediately run top 5 in the main event and deal with this pressure from some of the more established veterans that we've seen in the game. Balzer trying to swoop in from the outside to the in and gets a drive in the whoops. This time it will pay off, and he does get that pass completed. Now Cochran, let's see, he goes inside here. Balzer tries to go outside usually, but Cochran gonna have to square back up underneath of him. Actually almost pulled alongside of him for a second there. That was a nice over-under there by Cochran. Now a little mistake just cost him again, and inside Sullivan hits him, and they both go down. They both get up immediately, though, and continue on. Now can Cochran get a pass back up the inside of Sullivan? No, Sullivan shuts the door and continues on. So we've passed halfway, and normally I like doing a top 10 rundown at halfway, so we'll make this real quick. This one is brought to you by us here at Start Your Systems, because why not? Start Your Systems is a media organization centered around gaming and entertainment with the motorsport discipline. Whether you're a gearhead or a gamer, we're sure to have something you may like here at SYS, and we bring you guys this top 10 rundown here at round number 3 of the 250 East Division. Nathan Prynne, AJ Originals on the number 42 machine, continues to lead the race. Could this be the night he breaks through for his first career race victory? Colby Eaglin, defending champion on the number 1 Panini Motorsports Underground RC ride, runs in second, holding steady and just waiting for the opportunity if Prynne makes a mistake out front. Daniel Mills on the Jack Daniels Racing number 15. He's running in third, holding steady out of the LCQ and holding on to a podium at the moment. Although that's not going to help right there, jumping off the track and making a big mistake that's going to cost him a ton of time, but he finally gets going, still in third. Rasmus Balzer, the rider out of Denmark on the number 250 motorsport.com machine, is in fourth after winning his heat race earlier on tonight. Luke Sullivan, Team Nami on the number 18. He's holding down the top 5 spots right now, as he's just ahead of Casey Cochran on the Moto Playground number 90 machine in 6th. Jacob Hubbard now claws his way up into 7th on the SwapMotoLive.com number 11. Still could end up with the top 5 in this one, as 8th is occupied by Riley Hewen, SwapMotoLive.com number 66. 9th for Seth Shirley on the ATOM.com number 441. And 10th is Seth Garrett on the TM Factory Racing Flastimex.com number 43. That is a top 10 rundown brought to you by Start Your Systems. So Prynne out front, 13 minutes and some change down. So he's got probably looking at like 3 laps to go here maybe. And he's just got to try to put in 3 consistent, smooth laps. He's got a sizable lead opened up on Eaglin for this race win potentially. 8 seconds is the gap. 1 fall-off crash would lose him the lead though, so he's just got to stay on 2 wheels at this point. Looks like Hubbard trying to make some inroads here on Casey Cochran just ahead of him. This would be for the 6th spot. And Hubbard, who's only 2 points behind Dickerson in the championship, kind of in points salvage mode right now. After that early fall cost him so much time and points. Rider down. That was Sullivan and Balzer both down. So that's going to be Hubbard moving up inside the top 5. And he's right behind Cochran, who has now moved up into 4th. And Cochran, again, just handling the pressure so well. In a position he really has never been in these main events, battling with some of these top guys. But Hubbard just going to rail that corner and go right up into 4th. Now Hubbard into 4th. That's probably going to be as far as he can get. His time is about to expire. Mills coming down the start straight backwards here, looking like he's about 8 seconds ahead of Hubbard. So probably no higher than 4th for Hubbard if he can hold on. Meanwhile, time about to expire as we check in at 15 minutes right now. And Nathan Prynne will get the white flag this time by avoiding a lapped rider down right there. And here we go. White flag waving at Houston. Can we see the 3rd different winner in this 250 East division and the 2nd first-time winner for the 2nd week in a row? It was Hubbard for his first career victory last week. And right now, with about half a lap left to go, Nathan Prynne on the verge of, I believe, making history here tonight too. This could very well be, if I'm not mistaken, the first time that I can remember a Frenchman has won a 250 Supercross main event. Have to dig deep into the record books to really find that out. Leclerc obviously dominates in the 450 class year after year. But not too many Frenchmen kill it in this 250 class. But Nathan Prynne about to stamp his name in the records books, as it is going to be the 42 machine getting it done tonight in Houston. Nathan Prynne has won his first career 250 Supercross main event. Colby Eaglin looks like he will settle for 2nd for the 2nd week in a row. But a nicely done job here for the defending champion to get really good points out of this Houston triple header. Daniel Mills will end up in 3rd. And Hubbard claws his way all the way back to 4th. So in the end, only losing 4 points there to Eagland out front, which means he's now 5 points down in the championship. Sullivan ends up 5th. A great ride for Cochran in 6th. Rasmus Balzer will finish 7th, just ahead of Seth Garrett in 8th, and Riley Hewen in 9th. And Seth Shirley stays on the lead lap out of the LCQ, finishes up in 10th in this one. Great ride for Seth Shirley. Aaron Rockefeller was 11th, Trevor Spencer 12th, Barry Brands in 14th, Bob Joe in 13th, I should say. Bob Joe in 14th, J.R. Ray is in 15th, Ryan Mahan was 16th, Daniel Irvine 17th, Jonathan Alexander 18th, Caleb Hall 19th, Ryan Pickerton 20th, Chris Post was 21st, and Dalton Plessinger DNFing this race early on in 22nd. Taking a look at if cuts had affected anything, and it looks like it did not. It stayed the same, but your big winner here tonight in Houston, the number 42 machine, gets it done. Nathan Prynne is a winner in Race Factory Gaming competition. Alrighty. So, 250 main event done and dusted. Now just one more race to go on the docket here tonight, folks, and it's the big one. 450 main event, 3rd round of MotoOption Supercross coming up here at Houston 3. We're going to finish off the Houston triple header with our final main event in NRG Stadium right now. Heading to Indianapolis next week, so you won't want to miss next Wednesday. That will be January 27th, same time, same place, 6:15 p.m. Pacific, 9:15 p.m. Eastern here on Start Your Systems for round 4 of MotoOption SX from Indianapolis. We'll be there next week. But right now, it's the 450 main event at Houston 3, and it's brought to you by MXS Lobby. MXS Lobby provides and sells quality MX Simulator servers with a custom dashboard and many requested features. MXS Lobby constantly evolves to what users want. Get one today and start racing with others. Definitely a great thing to try out if you have never owned a server in this game and you like having little organized races with either your buddies or maybe having a little series of your own. MXS Lobby provides great servers to do that through, and they also provide the server that we race through here tonight. An MXS Lobby server is the host server here for MotoOption Clothing Supercross. So, 450 main event coming up next. Again, I'll throw it to chat. We got some big names coming out here. Jack Haley looking for his third straight win to start the year. Can he do it again? Can Alexis Leclerc finally dethrone him? What about Colton Mitchell? Mitchell looked a little bit better here tonight in his heat race. Adam Holm looked pretty strong as well. Dickerson, Carter looked pretty strong in his heat race as well. So we'll see what these guys can do. Long list of riders that can challenge tonight, but who is it going to be? Throwing it to chat and seeing what you guys think is going to happen here in this 450 main event as they are on their parade lap and we're about set to go racing here in Houston. There's Lang second in the points. Castellaneta, Magnetti, Davis, Kerr, Ritzler, Cohenauer, Young, Colton Mitchell, Reed Young, Robert Wilson, Dylan Copeland, Adam Holm, Matthias Janis, Tanner Rogers, Casey Ohlert, Chase Blakely, Bobby DeSell, Alexis Leclerc, Braden Carter, Roy Mitchell, Logan Leitzel, and your current points leader, 2019 Supercross champion Jack Haley with those red backgrounds. Can he get it done again here tonight? 2 straight wins to open the season. Looking for a third here right now to complete the triple header sweep in Houston. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the third round of MotoOption Supercross live here on Starter Systems. Buckle those seatbelts one last time. We're going 20 minutes in a lap. It's round 3 at Houston. Looks like the 78's got a great jump, and he's going to control it to the inside of the corner. That's Casey Ohlert. Does he get the whole shot? He may have just been tipped by Jack Haley as Leclerc goes 3 into the lead. Leclerc to the front, and Haley's right there with him. This is maybe exactly what we wanted to see. Leclerc and Haley trying to duke it out front. 2 champions battling for the race lead in Houston, and it's going to be a good one, folks. Can Haley take down the fast Frenchman, or does Leclerc get away early and try to control this main event from the front? Haley already trying an outside to in option in the sand, going for the race lead on Leclerc, and he's got it! Jack Haley to the lead at the end of lap number 1. Now Leclerc trying to think of an alternate line here to come back, and remember, he's jumping the wall really far into the roller section after this, so let's see what happens. Haley going to try to control the inside. Leclerc swings outside. Does he triple the wall? Yes, he does. Does he land it, though, is the question. Yes, he does, but he does not make that pass. Haley continues to hold the lead. Leclerc again, 3-3, single to the inside. Not going to get the line on Haley just yet. Both of them, I thought both of them were going to triple in, but just Haley tripling in. I think Leclerc likes that line, though. Oh, Haley down! He OJ'd into the corner, and he fell off the bike immediately. Carter goes by. There goes Castellaneta, DeSell, and Robert Wilson before finally he gets up behind Copeland and Chase Blakely. Oh, and he's going to go down again. Oh, he stayed on 2 wheels that time, and a lot of riders just went by. What a brutal fall-off crash that was at the absolute worst time for Jack Haley, and it gives Leclerc a huge lead at the front. So Leclerc leads. Braden Carter now funnels into second. Castellaneta's in third. Bobby DeSell coming through in fourth. Robert Wilson 5th. Copeland 6th. Blakely 7th. Leitzel is 8th. Ohlert 9th. Haley back to 10th. Reed Young 11th. Tyler Lang is in 12th. Magnetti, Rogers, Mitchell, Janis, Holm, Cohenauer, Kerr, and Ritzler with Colton Mitchell very far back, and Devin Davis bringing up the caboose here at the back of the field, as that was a quick run through the field early on in this main event to give you an indication where your favorite rider might be. But Leclerc out front. This is the similar story we see with Leclerc. Get out front, pull a big lead, but can he hold it is the question. Behind him, Braden Carter over the finish line jump has been very quick here tonight. Very consistent as well, and he's also looking for his first career Supercross victory. Leclerc would be looking for his 9th career Supercross victory. Look at that triple in by Carter. Those guys launching the wall. Let's actually go on board with Leclerc for a lap here. He's done a 51.6 last time, but he likes that cut low. double, triple. Oh, that's not going to help. Triple line off the track, though. So he's going to swing outside. Do the table option. Double. Hit the outside berm. And then this little triple into the Supercross triple. Double through the sand here, just trying to carry some momentum into the finish line jump. You'll notice Leclerc likes to lug the bike. So over the finish line jump, just want to see that wall triple from an onboard perspective because it's crazy. Look at how smooth he is in the whoops too. My goodness, Leclerc is ridiculous. So come down the start straight here, and no, actually not doing the wall triple. So inside, gonna go over the wall, double here, 4.2 second lead. Carter outside does hit the wall triple. Look at how far they go in the air to hit that thing, and still just come down perfectly in the same spot, lap after lap. Very impressive stuff. So Carter and Bobby DeSalle now moving up into the third position on the 34. Robert Wilson now finds himself in fourth, and around the outside there, trying to cut back underneath is Logan Leitzel. Leitzel on the 13 with a nice pass on Robert Wilson, and Wilson, what a save. Nosed in and then kind of picked off of the next landing and landed off the side of the track, but a very nice save because that could have been a lot bigger crash. And Jack Haley able to take advantage of that. He's up to fifth now. The number 2 machine is on the move. And we saw Haley come from very far back to win the opener. So this is not out of the question that Haley still has a chance at the win tonight, as Leitzel getting a little sideways in the whoops. Just ahead of him. Shout out Balin Jones, by the way. Thank you for the $2 donation. Says, watching from the pits right now at NRG Stadium, hashtag Team PRMX. That's awesome, man. Really appreciate the donation and the support by dropping by and watching the stream here. Like that line Haley's picked out right there. 2-2-3 into the corner, staying lower by tripling into the corner instead of hitting that tall double into the corner. Although Leclerc does swing wide and does the 3-3-1, which is just outright faster, I think, anyway. And when you have the race lead, you have the ability to take lines like that, as Haley is trying to size up a pass here to get around Logan Leitzel and into this 4 spot. Likes this outside into the sand so he can double. No problem. Into the whoops they go. Leitzel, pretty good run. Haley, just as good of a run behind him. So you see Brayton Carter going the other way, and then DeSalle just jumping out of the corner there. And then Leitzel and Haley, so Leclerc open up a 7.3 second lead right now. Well, these guys doing that 2-3-3-1 inside so they can hit the inside step on, step off line in that back section. I think overall, that's just going to be the quickest line for these guys, so you might see it start getting a little one-lined. Although still being able to triple in is a nice option to have because you can pull up alongside someone and maybe make them think about you, even though you do have to go to the outside in the next corner if you triple out. Haley's still looking for his opportunity. He's going to swing wide here. Bobby DeSalle's being caught by these guys too. Leitzel's right behind him. And Haley's going to swing way wide. Is he going to triple in? Yes, he is. Triple singles, so picking up on what Leclerc was doing out front. Didn't gain too much time, though, on Leitzel. And, DeSalle, nice save, but going to lose the third place spot there. Gets on still in fifth. That promotes Haley to fourth. Leitzel now in the final podium spot, as here is Brayden Carter still holding down second. And Alexis Leclerc in the race lead. Lap traffic coming into play already. So he's trying to work his way through some of the back markers. And things can get a little bit dicey in a hurry with these lap riders making some mistakes in front of your race leader and perhaps taking him with them in a crash like we just saw there. Look at this. Carter's now running into that same group. And those guys fighting with each other as Carter's just trying to squeak by. That's Roy Mitchell and the 37 machine. I know who it is, but it's just I need to see it on the top of the screen again. That's Reed Young. That's right. Okay. Reed Young on the 37. Roy Mitchell battling it out for 20th as Carter goes by. And Jack Haley's up to third. So 22 seconds off the lead. Must have been another mistake, though, because he was only 16 seconds down. And how about this? Tyler Lang has clawed his way up inside of the top 5. He's now 5th. And remember, only 6 points separate Haley and Lang in the championship. With Leclerc out front, salvage mode for these guys as they're going around Roy Mitchell, who was down. So Leitzel has gone all the way back to 12th now. But Lang, back-to-back weeks to start the year, finishing 2nd. Both times finished right behind Jack Haley in the main event. So, once again, trailing Jack Haley in the main event, not too far back. How far up do they get this time? And can Lang hold on to 2nd in the championship with Leclerc holding on to the race lead and potential race victory out front? This should be a interesting race to see how it unfolds for these guys. Casey Olert's having a great run on the 78. Integrity Machine holding down 6th right now. He's got a couple seconds back to Braden Castellaneta. Actually, it's Adam Holm. Looks like Holm just got around Castellaneta, who just maybe got up from a slight tip over. Magnetti, Matthias Janis, and Robert Wilson in a close battle behind these guys as they enter the whoops. And then it looks like I think I saw Logan Leitzel in the background of that. Is that down up there? Is that... No, that's a couple lapped riders. Okay, so creeping up to the halfway point. Everybody's kind of spread apart for the most part right now. So let's go ahead and do a really quick top 10 rundown. We kind of already did one just now, but I also want to do it again just to kind of highlight the night and kind of see where everybody is in this main event. So this top 10 rundown is brought to you by the title sponsor of this series. That is MotoOption Clothing, founded in 2005 out of pure love for motorsports and design. MotoOption has continued to reinvent what a clothing company is all about. They pride themselves on staying true and giving back to the sports that support them. They support local tracks and organizations as well as maintain a large athlete sponsorship program. MotoOption gives back to the sports that fuel us. Run by racers, for racers, they are motorsports. Out front, Alexis Leclerc on the AJ Originals, number 7, looking for career win, number 9, and season win, number 1, as he had a couple rough first rounds. I think 3rd in the first round and then 5th in the second round was what Leclerc was able to come away with. So 3rd, not ideal, but leading this one right now and maybe going to come away with this 3rd round victory. Braden Carter still leaping the triple into this tricky section off the wall. SwapMotoLive.com, number 19 machine holds down 2nd. He's looking for his first career main event victory in this 450 class if he can get to Leclerc or if Leclerc starts making mistakes. Bobby DeSelle has moved back up into 3rd on the Team Nami, number 34, and Tyler Lang now finds himself in 4th on the Moto Playground, number 14. So he's ahead of Jack Haley, your points leader on the Jack Daniels Racing, number 2, gaining some points in the championship. Casey Olert on the Tegrity, number 78, runs in 6th. Just a smooth sailing ride for Casey Dip. Braden Castellaneta, number 63 on the Moto Playground machine, runs in 7th. He's just ahead of Adam Holm on the atom.com, number 17, but those positions are going to switch. So now Holm up to 7th, Castellaneta back to 8th. 9th for Matthias Janis on the Moto Playground, number 130 machine. And 10th is Luke Magnetti on the BPC, number 30. That is going to be a top 10 rundown brought to you by MotoOption Clothing here in the 10th season of MotoOption Supercross. So Leclerc continues to check in through the sand out front. Carter's slowly losing time to him, and Haley has got back around Lang, so Lang must have had a mistake or gone down again. And that puts Casey Olert up inside of the top 5 with Lang right behind him. So let's see if Lang can make a quick pass again. He goes down again. Oh, Lang cases the triple mid-rhythm and goes down. So there goes Castellaneta and Holm and Janis, but they all crashed in the next corner. Well, at least Holm did. So Lang's going to get up and get one of those guys back immediately. But it's a lot worse of a situation than it was with Lang ahead of Haley, gaining points in the championship. Now he's way behind him and is going to need a little bit of help to get some points back tonight. Meanwhile, battle for 3rd brewing. Bobby DeSelle trying to hold off the 2019 champ of Haley. DeSelle going for the double in line here and then single to the inside to get this far inside line. working around Reed Young. Haley still swinging wide to do the 3-3-1 option. Reed Young becoming a bit of a pick there, and Haley goes down. He hit the side of Young and immediately has a fall-off crash. As the lapped rider, here comes Casey Ohlert to pull up alongside Haley. Haley's going to try to keep Ohlert behind him, and he will do so. Ohlert conceding the position to the outside there. So in the end, Haley doesn't actually lose a position, but he lost a lot of time in the process. DeSalle now all alone in third spot, 6 seconds ahead of Haley. And Carter just watching the time slip away. Look at this. Leclerc just lapped Tyler Lang. Lang battling it out with those guys back there as well. Lang, oh my goodness, those guys are going all over the track. And I think they maybe all just went down in the sand. So Leclerc checks in out front on a lap number 17. Big shout out to Cody McMurray in chat for a $5 donation. Says, crazy race, buddy. Good content killing. Hope leg hair holds it up. Hashtag free Cody McMurray in Scooty streams. Love it. And thank you for the donation. And he is looking to see if Leclerc can hold on for his first victory of 2021. Very similar situation we saw out of Leclerc at the opener. Had opened up a nice lead, looked like he had the race in control, then crashed 3 times within 2 laps of each other and coughed up the race lead to eventual winner Jack Haley. Now right now he does have a bigger lead than he did at that time with a 20-second gap over Braden Carter, but you never know with Leclerc, and he's just going to try to hold on for these last 5 minutes and 30 seconds plus a lap to try to pick up this victory. There is Carter. Here's DeSalle. And then Haley behind DeSalle. Casey Ohlert still holding on to that top 5. Matthias Janis all the way up to 6th now. Great ride for him. Here's Adam Holman 7th. Robert Wilson 8th. Magnetti 9th. Castaneda 10th. Logan Leitzel is 11th. Which means Lang back here battling with Copeland for 12th right now. This is really unraveling here for Tyler Lang on that number 14 Moto Playground machine. Losing so many valuable championship points right now. Oh, that's not going to help. Almost jumping off the track. And he's going to have to check up. I don't think he can hit the triple here. No, he's going to have to double, so Copeland's going to jump right over top of him. And Lang's probably a little bit unhappy right now, but he's just got to try to calm down and get as many points as he can. How about this fight? All these guys just got lapped by Leclerc. Janis, Wilson, Magnetti, Castaneda, and Janis off the back of this group. Working on a nice fight inside of the top 10 for most of these guys. Reed Young getting off the track there. He was down again. Robert Wilson, alternate line. Magnetti down the inside on his teammate. Going to make that pass. A couple BPC riders going at it. Robert Wilson maybe trying to show a nose in there again, but backs out of the challenge. Magnetti actually lands off the side of the track on the finish line, so that almost cost him the spot, but got a great drive in the whoops. And meanwhile, Castaneda's trying to size up a move on Robert Wilson. All these guys absolutely ripping right now. There's a big rut developing on the inside of that corner. I think a lot of those guys trying to notch into that and get a little bit of speed through corner entry. And Castaneda just working on Robert Wilson right now. Has not been able to size up a pass just yet. Shows him a wheel here, but that outside triple line is just so much better. Janis over the finish line, jump up ahead of these guys. Adam Holm. Looks like Leclerc about to lap Adam Holm right now. Leclerc in his own zone out front. Looking very smooth on that AJ Originals number 7. As he works on putting the atom.com machine a lap down. He'll do so right there. Here's Jack Haley trying to work on Casey Ohlert. I believe this is for 5th, and he's going to get that pass done. So Haley, no, I'm sorry, it's for 4th. Haley working on some valuable points right here. And Ohlert just went down. That's going to give Adam Holm a top 5. Yeah, because Ohlert just got put down again. He has a double fall off because Leclerc clipped him. So Janice just went by. And here comes that group that was all battling in here. Magnetti, Castellaneta, Robert Wilson. And it looks like Ohlert gets in right behind. Well, he's actually right behind Kohenauer, who is a lap down. So can Haley catch Bobby DeSell and get on the podium for the 3rd straight round here in Houston after winning the first 2 rounds? Looks like he will leave here with the points lead regardless of the situation, but I'm sure he would like just a few more points to pad that cushion as Leclerc just continues to work through lap traffic out front. Man, does he have a lead. He's lapped Adam Holm, who's in 5th, and isn't terribly far behind Jack Haley right now. So he could still maybe lap Haley before this is over. 19 minutes on the clock. So Leclerc should have 2 laps to go. He'll get the... No, I'm sorry, 3 laps to go. Because he will not... If he runs a smooth lap here, he will not run out of time before he gets back to the flag. So, man, these guys are going to do 25 laps on this track tonight. And it's starting to show a little bit. The rut's wearing in. Leclerc just in his own world out here. 21 seconds and some change off the lead. Haley has moved up into 3rd as Carter just hit the deck. Now Haley's going the other way. He just hit the triple in the background, so Carter's got a sizable advantage, but maybe another fall-off crash? Fall-off crash and a half really is what it's going to take because Haley just hit the finish line jump. And, yeah, that's going to be a big gap to overcome. So Haley's moved up to 3rd. DeSell now back to 4th. Holm into P5. Matthias Janis in 6th, Magnetti 7th, Casey Ohlert 8th, Braden Castellaneta is 9th, and Tanner Rogers rounding out your top 10 right now. So time has expired. Where is Leclerc on the track? I think he just had clipped the finish line. Yeah, so he's now about a lap and a half to go in this race. 31-second lead. Yeah, 10-second gap, so I guess if Carter does have a fall-off crash... Oh, man, I don't know who that was. I think that was Leitzel trying to light up Reed Young, and Leitzel went down himself. Blakely down. Carter hits him. Oh, and he stays on 2 wheels, at least for the time being. But, oh, flipping riders. Carter's trying to dodge some bullets. Haley's hoping for the advantage, though. Goodness gracious, that was gnarly right there. So Leclerc's going to check in out front. White flag waves. And Haley's got that gap closed down to Carter significantly. But Carter's just got to hang on for basically a lap and a half here. 37 seconds behind Leclerc, who has absolutely dominated this race right now. Here is Haley in 3rd and DeSell in 4th. These are the only guys remaining on the lead lap right now. Actually, yeah. Leclerc still is just ahead of Adam Holm. So we'll see those guys do one more lap up the road. But meanwhile, Leclerc, this has been a big night for him, a big turnaround night. Finally shows that he can get out front, lead the race, dominate it like we've seen him do in years past, and it's going to result in his first win of the year. Alexis Leclerc has won the Houston 3 Supercross. So Carter, riders going down in front of him. He's trying to hold on for second, but here comes Haley. Trying to make things interesting. Carter's just got to really stay on 2 wheels here. And if he gets through this back section, as long as there's not riders in the middle of the track on the finish line jump, he should be A-OK. Triples in. Nice whip over the triple. And yeah, nobody's down back here. So Carter, great ride. Just missed out on challenging Leclerc on the race victory side of things. But a second place finish is going to do just fine for him. And Haley will retain the points lead with a brilliant triple header in Houston. 2 wins and a 3rd as he wraps up Houston with a podium. DeSell 1.3 seconds behind him at the flag, ends up 4th. Adam Holm, first man to lap down, he was in 5th. Then Matthias Janis 6th, 7th Magnetti 8th, Ohlert 9th, Rogers 10th, was Robert Wilson 11th, Lang, Copeland 12th, Castellaneta 13th, Leitzel 14th, 15th for Blakely, 16th Davis, 17th was Mitchell, 18th for Kohenauer, 19th Ritzler, 20th Young, 21st Kerr, and 22nd was Roy Mitchell. Taking a look, cuts wise, looks like really no changes at all. So even with all the cuts, there was no changes there. So Haley retains red plates with his podium finish, but Leclerc is the big winner tonight here in Houston, the third round in Houston. But we're done. Say sayonara to NRG Stadium, because we are heading to Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis next week for the first of 3 Indianapolis rounds there, and we're very excited to kick things off there. One final shout out to all of our sponsors: MotoOption Clothing, MX Simulator, Racetech Suspension, Phil Ski and Snowboard, Underground RC, Start Your Systems, OGL Paco, and MXS Lobby. Thank you guys so much for all your continued support, and we appreciate everybody that's been here tonight watching on Start Your Systems. So yeah, Kellen Brower here in the booth one last time, thanking you guys again for stopping by, enjoying your Wednesday evening with a little bit more Supercross action. I know we've already had so much in the last 3 or 4 days, a little bit more here tonight, and hopefully you guys kind of enjoy your next 2 nights off, I guess, from Supercross before we're back racing real Supercross again on Saturday. For your guys' sake, though, appreciate everybody that stopped by and watched. A lot of people here in the chat tonight, very lively chat. Saw Dio was in there, a lot of other people also hanging out, so thank you guys so much for tuning in and chatting it up. And we'll be back next Wednesday, same time, same place, 6:15 p.m. Pacific, 9:15 p.m. Eastern for round 4 of MotoOption Supercross from Indianapolis, and we'll see you guys then. So long for now.